Welcome back. Sorry if you were in the middle of something. We've still got 20 seconds. Welcome back because let's kick it off. And we've got a quick welcome video for you. And then we will definitely run with the show. We're running about 11 minutes late here, so we'll get this going. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hey, Herschel. You could take a big screen capture every now and then with the number of folks that are that are coming in. It's filling up my screen here. What a great day to be competing for TiE University. Welcome back. Okay, so it looks like all the rooms have come back almost. Oh, nope, we're still waiting for our welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna go ahead and kick off the show here. We've got 3 chapters in Austin, Houston, and Dallas. We've got judges from all of our 3 great cities in Texas. If anybody wants to take a screenshot, these are the judges that you have. Our friends at Dallas are in person, so they will not necessarily have their own track, or the students won't be on Zoom, but they are recording their sessions. They're in Dallas. In Houston, we have 3 judges. In Austin, we have 3 judges, and we are looking forward to having our students present their pitches to them. This is for the local round, which means that we will be announcing the teams from Houston, Austin, and Dallas that will move forward or advance forward to the TiE University Global Round later today. Just a reminder, if you're still joining in late, just rename yourself. This is going to be the pitch order that will continue. And this is our friends at Dallas. The 6 teams there are going to be presenting to the judges in Dallas. If you're not a judge, and if you're joining in as a host, this is the naming convention. Anywhere you see an A, it's someone that is organizing. If you're just participating and watching the show, please do put a Z in the front, so it'll help us navigate and put the students and the judges in the right rooms quickly. Should we need to do that, it'll help us. We could always help our audience members later. Okay, so welcome. It's April 15th. We have been preparing for this day for a while now. Ever since the competition was announced in January, we've been reaching out to our school partners and teams and bringing all of you here. We've gone through extensive effort in Austin, Dallas, and Houston for mentoring our students, from having events, from calling, reaching out to all our student teams by email, by phone, in person, getting them prepared for today's event. We have done a tech check with all our students, and we're confirming that we're able to see them. We're able to see their slides. So we should not have any hiccups, but when the time comes to pitch in the individual tracks, if you need to go back to any of these slides, please use the link that's being shown in the on the slide. You can get a copy of all of the slides by going there directly. It's bit.ly/TiEU Texas 23, all lowercase, and 2 and 3 are numbers. So our agenda, we've already done the renaming activity. We're gonna watch a quick welcome video from the TiE University founder, Dr. Paul Lopez, who has really, put this whole program together out of Atlanta. You'll hear from him about his vision and what's happening. And after that, we'll go into our breakout rooms where you'll have the pitch order. Every student will have 10 minutes, up to 10 minutes, so you don't have to use all 10, up to 10 minutes to pitch, then up to 5 minutes for judges to ask questions, and up to 5 minutes for scoring transition between the next teams. There is a process in the back end that's keeping all of this kind of in sync. So our organizers, in the case of Houston, it's going to be Ram Shenoy. In the case of Austin, it's going to be Herschel Shah, who's going to have kind of the judges dashboard, and they're going to be the timekeepers and moderators, keeping us all in time. So, oops, I also want to make sure that after all the pitches are done in the breakout rooms, please make sure that the breakout rooms are being recorded, Herschel and Ram, as soon as it starts. And then you can record to the cloud or record to the local computer, and I'll retrieve the recordings from you later. We will take a scoring and a networking break after all of that. All 6 teams in each track have presented and have been judged. And then around 1 o'clock, we're looking at joining our keynote speaker in Dallas. So we'll have a fairly good break from later today. So let me actually bring up the agenda, the timeline agenda. So we'll have a fairly good break from 12:20-ish all the way to 1 p.m. So this is where students, y'all could relax and just go eat lunch or what have you while we wait for that. But at 1 o'clock, we're going to hear from our friend in Dallas, Arun Agrawal, about his inspirations. And right after that, we'll go ahead and start announcing our winners and prize money, etc. So without further ado, I'm going to go back and let Dr. Lopez tell you a little bit about TiE University. Let me make sure my audio is also shared. And by the way, while I'm here, just turn on your cameras. Let me take a really nice screenshot. Turn on your cameras if you can hear me. And let's take a really good screenshot of the show before we start. And Herschel, you've got the screenshot duty? or you want me to do it? I can do it.
I'm taking some as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So Rishabh, Zia, Mustafa, Vanita, Fernando, Daryl, please turn on your camera so we could get a nice little screenshot and smile. And it's better to do this now because some of you, as soon as you're done, you're off to the races.
Some of you might smile more, some of you might smile less after the event, right?
Exactly. So. in the next shot, we don't know. All right. So without any delay, it's 10:20. So let's go ahead and run this. Audio is shared, playing.
Good morning to all of you in Texas. I'll tell you that the state of Texas is close to my heart. I've lived there in all the main cities of San Antonio, Dallas, and Houston, and just never got to come to Austin to live there. But I spent 12 years of my life there, and so just so glad to be with all of you, arriving at least virtually from Atlanta. I'm the founder of TiE University, Dr. Paul Lopez, and currently board chair in TiE Atlanta chapter. I just want you to all breathe, first of all. I know today is an important day for you, but just breathe, and I know you're going to do well. How do I know that? Because you're all winners. Look, you're all spending your morning, unlike your peers, in sitting in on a competition, pitching your idea, your venture, your wonderful possibilities. And I want to say thank you, and just remember you're winners no matter what. I'd also like to say thank you to the judges, the mentors, the organizers, because you're fulfilling our mission of empowering college students to become entrepreneurs. But here's my message that I'd like to leave, at least the folks who are part of the team, that here's how I would spend my next couple of hours, and also be thinking about the piece of homework I'm going to give you that I think can be life-changing. Okay? I.e., think about one key action that you'll pick up today where you can help others, either during this particular competition or ones that you're going to meet through the TiE Texas program, where you can use your superpower to help them. And also pick up one key action that would allow you to become a better entrepreneur by taking your idea either to the market, getting it readier, and if you're already in market, scaling. I'll come back to that. So why do I say all of this? For three reasons. Number one is, I think you're just at the beginning of a wonderful journey of entrepreneurialism. And how do I know that? Because small seeds do grow into an incredible variety of plants and trees. I'll give you specific examples. I found TiE University here in Atlanta, in the state of Georgia, back in 2013, because I watched some high schoolers who at that time were being mentored by our local chapter just stand up on a stage at TiECon Atlanta and get so proud of the work that they were doing to launch a venture. And I decided that particular year that we needed to do something like that in a formalized way for university students. I know today the university ecosystem has grown, but back in that time, we weren't doing enough. And we had 8 colleges represented, 12 teams, and I thought, wow, this is a good start. Don't know where it'll go. But as you've heard in the video, boy, we're in 24 countries already. We had 1,455 teams last year. This year, 1,399 teams across multiple countries, all pitching their idea and building the ecosystem around the collegiate student team. What an incredible story. I think that I never thought about that 10 years ago. We're in our 10th year anniversary, but only 5 years on a global scale because the global team asked me to spread the story and make it an enabler for all of you way back about 5 years ago. By the way, Bill Gates says we tend to overestimate the short term and underestimate the long term. How true. Here's a couple other examples. Michael Dell, sitting in his dorm room in Austin, Texas, back in February of 1984, launched Dell Technologies. I'll bet he just thought he was solving a small problem, that he could do something about it. Today, that organization is now valued at $31 billion and has 158,000 employees whose lives they're impacting, and millions of customers all around the world. I'm a big Dell laptop aficionado, so I know that they make good products. I'll give you another example out of Texas. I got to meet a person named Gary Keller. If you don't know Keller Williams Realty, they're one of the top 10 companies in the state of Texas. Back then, in 1983, he thought, let me just create a better realty company. I'm going to create one where we train our employees, we train our customers, we train our buyers. And I'll tell you, I got to meet him. He's a guitar playing, Bible user, kind of person who believes what he says and goes out and becomes an incredible believer and teaches others what he believes, that they can be better than how they start. Today, he has 130,000 employees and is the largest franchise realty company, bar none, in North America, Keller Williams Realty. There are a couple of examples, between TiE University, Michael Dell's company, and Gary Keller's company. And you know what? It's very possible that among your group today in Austin, Dallas, or Houston, there is one of you that could be the next story that we tell. So that's sort of a story around small seeds can grow into a variety size of plants and trees, and it's up to you how you water it, how you take the idea forward beyond the competition today. Okay. Number 2 is, I think during the competition today, you can give yourself a new title that maybe you've not thought about. You're a solutionist. You're going to pitch today about a real problem and how you have a venture, a product or service that will be a great solution for the marketplace. Convince yourself of that. And I suspect you're already convinced, or try to convince the others appropriately during your pitch session. And take then their feedback to heart, because you will be getting feedback from the judges today. You've gotten feedback from your mentors. So remember, your new title is solutionist, among many other things that you have, that you're on your path, as on your career path. And so I'll come back to what I started out with. I'm joining the TiE University ecosystem. It will be where you get to join forces, rub shoulders. Don't just think today is the end. Today is just one of the pathway points on a long journey of being a wonderful entrepreneur. If you believe that, you can still go work for IBM like I did, or Deloitte, or somebody else, but you could still take your idea forward, become part of the family. And remember, the thing I said was the homework that could be life-changing. Find one key action today to use your superpower to help somebody else on their entrepreneurship journey. And then take one thing away from the feedback, from what you learned, whether you choose to go forward with it. I hope you will. You can pivot. And I know you will have a great competition. By the way, for those of you who are winners and choose to come out to Silicon Valley in early May, I'm looking forward to meeting you in person. Look out for me, Ravi, Rapat, or one of the others can certainly get you in touch. I look forward to hearing about the great successes, not just today, but in the years ahead. Have a wonderful pitch competition there in Texas. Thank you.
All right. So as Dr. Lopez rightly said it, our mission is to empower college students to become entrepreneurs. Preaching to the choir here. All of you are pursuing entrepreneurship in some way or another. So thank you for continuing this journey. I always say that entrepreneurship is one of those professions where you could truly break any type of generational wealth or poverty that your family members in the past may have lend you, or it is the only profession where you get paid to be helpful and to be kind. So those are kind of the visions for what we do at TiE. And as I've shared earlier, we're going to go ahead right after this. We're going to go ahead and open up the breakout rooms. So this is where the teams will go ahead and start presenting. You have a team order already, so be mindful of that. And you have room monitors who will keep you honest. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and ask all of you, once the breakout rooms are open, go to the right room. If you need help, I'll be out here in the main room to move people should you need my help. But right now I have given everybody the ability to go to the Houston track or the Austin track. Again, the Dallas track is in person, so it's really just Houston or Austin. You'll choose and you'll go. And let me also, since I have everybody still on here, Saram and Herschel, please don't forget to record when you go into the breakouts. Zoom does not automatically record, and we don't want to miss out on any of that. And then without further ado, we're going to go ahead and let you take off. Herschel, Ram, there are some rules and the slides. Ram, wait for me to join the Houston track, and I'll go through the rules for Houston. Herschel, you have access to the slide deck. You'll go through the rules. So we'll go ahead and open up all the rooms. And if you were, we'll see you in the track accordingly.
Just send me that link again on this, Ravi, right? I'll use that same one for the presentation.
It's the presentation. You've got it in the chat right now. I'll send it again.
Perfect.
Okay, so and what you want to do is jump to like slide, I believe it's going to be 18. Just jump to slide 18.
Yep.
Okay, well, I'll also go to Houston track now. Thanks.
So I was just asking the judges as you came in whether they all have their judges link and they've done a test scoring or not, because I don't know.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, Ravi. We're
Awesome.
recording.
Awesome. Thank you. That's perfect. All the judges have confirmed that they've got the link and they're ready to go. So just a quick reminder, 10 minutes or up to 10 minutes. So you don't have to use the entire 10 minutes. If you guys are ready and persuade the judges, you're free to continue. Judges, please be democratic in this process. Please give every judge the opportunity to ask questions and also try to limit the follow-up questions to one if need be, because you are also time bound, up to 5 minutes for Q&A and 3 judges in the Houston track. And then should we need, we could allow up to 4 minutes to score. There is a judges monitor that Ram and I have access to that we kind of keep an eye on that tells us if all the judges have scored. We are asking you to score after each entry. So please do that. And as soon as we get the green light that all judges are scored, we can move on to the next team and keep going forward. So just a quick reminder, Herschel and Ram, you guys are kind of the main moderators for the track.
Ravi, I do have a question here.
Yes, Vanita.
I wanted to find out what's the most efficient way to toggle between the link, and is there an efficient way to do this, or you?
Yeah, so if you wanted to open the link on your smartphone, you can score
Okay.
phone and watch the presentations without having to, that would be the easiest suggestion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. So students in the local round, this is, this shouldn't be new to you. If you've seen the TiE Blue Book, the Blue Book tells you that this is going to be the rubric that you're being evaluated on, and the weights of each of the categories is also listed here. The only big difference you're going to see in the global round is that there is an additional 2 categories, the business model canvas and the business plan summary. They are also weighted about 20%. Lucky for you, we're not weighting them in the Houston local round, but should you be the first team out of Houston and the second team, you will be asked to submit those again, and they will be graded at the global level. So that's just heads up on that for now. For now, I just want to thank all the mentors. I know Willie's in the room and here. Houston has gone through the effort of about 22 mentoring sessions. 9 teams have self-reported that they've received some sort of mentoring. The average rating of our mentor on a scale of 10 is 9.3. So kudos to the mentors on the list. Y'all have done tremendously well. We appreciate you doing this. And by the way, Sunil, on this one, I have your name, but just for everybody to know, Sunil has not mentored any of the teams that are judging, that he's judging today. Even though he's a mentor for us, this round, he was traveling too much. So there is it is an independent jury that you have for this round. Your judges for Houston, we have Chandu Ravanur, who's in Houston. Chandu, thank you so much for volunteering and giving us your wisdom today. We have Sunil Pangakar out of Houston as well. Thank you, sir, for always being the first to step up and support the efforts of TiE University in Houston. And then we also have Anita Gupta. So the reason I say their names is go ahead and find them on LinkedIn, connect with them on LinkedIn. Should you want any feedback after, or you want advice, or if they give you feedback like, hey, reach out to me, this is the screen you want to take a screenshot of and go find and connect with them and tell them, hey, you were part of the TiE and connect with them. They have all committed to supporting entrepreneurs in Houston for no cost. It's unlimited mentoring for free. That is the value of TiE. That is what we offer. So make sure you leverage it with our judges and our mentors. And just for the sake, here are the mentors' names again. Take a screenshot of the mentors, reach out to them. These are all folks right here in Houston and Fort Bend that are here to help you advance your career. Now we're gonna skip the Dallas guys and the Austin guys because we like them, but they're not here, so it's okay. But again, judges, please be constructive and kind in your comments. Keep in mind that these are some in ideation, some in prototyping, some in market student presentations. Please be consistent in your grading. So please, keep a standardized scale as you're grading them. If you're gonna be hard on everybody. If you're gonna be easy on everybody. Okay, so just some show some kindness as you're judging. So Ram, I'll pass it over to you to let the first team go, and there's the pitch order for Houston. And actually, before I do that, let me also give you one more screen. If you're here as an audience member, or you guys are participating and you like another student's project, please give them feedback. Again, it is an ecosystem, so we're not competing with one another. Please give feedback to the other teams. If you like something, if you don't like something, you could, give them feedback. This is an opportunity to find and make new friends who are also in the startup ecosystem with you. So participants, judges, mentors, everybody, take a scan of that QR code and give feedback to the teams as they're pitching. And now we'll go back to the Houston team order. So I'll stop sharing my screen.
Ravi, one clarification.
Yes,
Student
sir.
team 2 is not competing, correct?
You are correct. Team 2 has emailed me this morning that their IP patent application prevents them from sharing. So at this point, judges team 2, they've been mentored by us, but they're moving forward without the competition. So that's actually okay. That's fine with us.
Yeah, so we'll proceed in the same numerical order, but we'll just skip 2 and we're doing 5 teams instead of 6, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So then I guess we can get started, right?
Yes, sir. The clock is with you. Go ahead.
Okay, so judges, just if you wouldn't mind just confirming you're ready for the first presentation to begin.
Ready.
Very good. So team 1, Carbon Hunter, you have 10 minutes. I have the clock ready. At about 9 minutes, I'll give you a 1-minute warning, and then I'll ask you to finish at 10 minutes if you get to that point. If you finish earlier, that'll be just fine. Okay, so
Okay,
whenever
thanks.
you're ready, you're welcome to start, and I'll start the clock when you start speaking. Please.
Yeah, just
go
let me
ahead.
get the laser pointer and then we can start. Yeah.
Hey, Ravi,
Yeah, we can start.
WhatsApp me the link.
Okay, starting.
To judge. Thank you.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Niranjan. Thank you for being here. Our company is called Carbon Hunter. We are a verified and transparent carbon trading platform to help you meet your ESG needs. So let's start by asking a simple question. What exactly is carbon trading? So over the past 2 decades, various world governments, including US, have came up with different strategies to have decarbonization. A very famous strategy that you might be familiar is something called as a cap and trade program. In its simplest form, if we have 2 companies, say company A, company B, and each of these companies are given a certain bar of how much carbon or greenhouse emissions they can do. But if company A exceeds it by a certain amount, while company B is more greener and they do not exceed it by a certain amount, they are allowed to trade in these differences through carbon credits via a carbon market so that to balance out the CO2 emissions in that region, in that country, or in the world. Now, this is very important because it gives and it rewards company B for being more greener. But on the other hand, it penalizes company A for being more, in the sense, dirtier. And they have to pay a certain amount of carbon credit fee based on how much carbon they're emitting. So they are kind of incentivized to be more greener as time passes because the emission caps can be more stringent. the carbon value itself might go higher. And so overall, it incentivizes decarbonization for both the players. Now, where this becomes a complex mumbo jumbo is over the past 2 decades, there have been various cap and trade programs, state to state, region to region, country to country. There have been talks about carbon tax. There are different tax rebates. There is the Inflation Reduction Act, which came a couple of months back, and it all becomes very complex. And there is no standardized one-shot approach. As a result, what ends up happening is there is a lot of miscounting or double counting of our carbon credits that kind of undermines these decarbonization efforts. To give you an example, if company A is selling their carbon credit, so they are more greener, and they sell it to company B, which is maybe more dirtier in terms of carbon, this transaction should end here. But at this point, the reporting happens at the end of the year or quarter to quarter. It's very difficult to verify and track. There is no standardized SEC kind of approach. This company can sell it to other company, the carbon credit, and so on and so forth. And on paper, it will seem that 5 companies are doing decarbonization, but in reality, only 1 company is doing. And this is very harmful because it basically gives a true sense, because it gives a false sense of decarbonization in the country. Also, it undercompensates these green companies that are actually doing all the hard work because their carbon credit is now just being traded and traded off. So what's the solution? There is a solution, and that is tokenization. If we can uniquely tokenize each of the carbon credits by when it was created, how it was generated, like what activity was it done, like what carbon activity, what was the amount, and so on. And if we can track from birth to death what happens to that credit, we can avoid this miscounting. And this is exactly the approach urged by Vera and Gold Standard, which are the country's biggest carbon credit issuers. Around 80% of the US verified carbon credits are by them. So taking this inspiration, we came up with a blockchain-based verified carbon trading platform that can avoid this miscounting. So let me give you a schematic. So if we have this blockchain where there are various companies, and we will call them CC buyers. So these are the companies that need to buy the carbon credits, and there are CC sellers. Now, in a blockchain, all of these are connected through a certain set of nodes. We don't need to be as complicated as Bitcoin or Ethereum because these transactions are much less as compared to those monetary transactions. So if company A sells their carbon credit to company B, this should be verified and the carbon credit should be retired. But if company B is tried to sell it to company C, which is not allowed, then while the blockchain verification, this avoids it, and it avoids the reselling of the carbon credits. That means this carbon credit has been retired and been verified. So in overall, when you can have an immutable tokenization of each carbon credit, you have a distributed blockchain ledger system, and all of this is happening in real time, and it's irreversible and auditable. What you get is an immutable tokenization of carbon credits. So you can track them, you can audit them. Now, how will this run in actual? Is if we have these climate tech companies, so these are some based in Houston, some based in California, which do carbon capture, sustainable agriculture, those kind of things. Their carbon credits will be verified by Vera and Gold Standard and be tokenized. And then there will be these target companies, in this example, tech companies who have very aggressive ESG targets, who are looking to buy carbon credits because they do not have in-house or in-situ carbon activities. So Carbon Hunter acts as a trading platform for these two entities to interact. It acts as a matchmaker between the target companies and the climate tech companies to exchange their carbon credits. And also, since everything is tracked through the blockchain, we can ensure compliance with the EPA to make this more holistic. Now, our beachhead market is the great state of Texas, and there are 3 reasons to do this. The first is, in the past 2 years, there have been around 100 to 200 mid-sized tech companies or small-sized tech companies that have shifted to Austin, which have a very aggressive ESG targets by 2030, which have a very high willingness to pay. On the other hand, in the past 6 months, there have been $250 billion invested in carbon renewal activities for startups. So we have both the players. We have the carbon buyers, we have the carbon sellers, and the third thing is we personally know some of these folks on both the sides, on the buyer side, on the seller side, both in Austin and Houston. It's very accessible for us to reach out to them as compared to a much more competitive market such as California, for example. Now, based on this, our financial projections look solid. We can reach our break even in 2 years with $10 million plus revenue by 2030, and around have a 70% profit margin since we are a software as a service based platform. These calculations were done assuming the current total addressable market of around 300 million and assuming a compound annual growth rate of 20%. And we assume that we will get a steady market share for the first 2 years in Texas and then hopefully in the US. Our major costs come from three things. The first initial upfront cost is the web development. So you don't need to make your blockchain. You can host it from servers like Amazon or Azure, but you still need to make a website where there will be different accounts. There will be an interaction between the buyers and the sellers and the verifiers and so on. The server hosting costs are not that much. Based on our analysis with Microsoft Azure, we can do it in $10,000 a year. And another major cost comes from customer acquisition. Now, customer acquisition is on both the sides. We need both the players, the buyers and sellers to be on board. So a lot of money is going to be spent on making that happen in the next 2 years. There is a phase 2 to this, which we want to do maybe 2 to 3 years down the line, is where because we have collected so much data on carbon trading, which is verified, which is bona fide, this information is very high value to banks, hedge funds, consulting firms who need to optimize their portfolio, have greener portfolios, do future investments. And so we can provide this data to them on a subscription model or a bundle data model, 2-3 years down the line. Now, what is for you? What is our ask and what's your gain? So we are asking for $200,000 of initial investment overall to fund these different activities that I mentioned. And based on our projections, you can have a 2.5 or 250% return around of $500,000 in 5 years if you go forward with this. And we do have a solid plan to make this happen. So our roadmap for success is broken down into 2 steps. And in the first step, we want to have that initial funding so we can have the blockchain development or mostly the Web3 development get started with. We want to hire some personnel in terms of the development, as well as some regulatory advisor to get us around all this mumbo jumbo. And we, the internal team, will be mostly working on getting onboarding of these different partners. And then we will deploy at the end of, hopefully at the end of 2 year and a half, and then start to generate revenue. So the potential impact is there is value for stakeholders on both the sides. There is value for financial institutions. There is value for the DOE and the EPA because they get a true sense of what's happening. This is an amazing team we have. We are experts in energy, consulting, and supply chain, and we work with various institutes. And to round it off, I actually got a chance to meet some of these folks at the United Nations Climate Change Conference, where on my birthday, they issued the 1 billionth carbon credit. So that was a nice piece of cake. And with that, I want to open it up to questions to the audience and the judges.
Excellent. Thank you. So judges, you have 5 minutes for Q&A. As Ravi said, I would suggest you do agree around robin between yourselves and limit yourself to 1 follow-up. Please go ahead.
Well, my question is, who are your current competitors in the game?
So we have a slide for that. So at this point, there are 4 to 5 major competitors. So in what we do, which is carbon trading, Toucan and Kilimidao were the 2 competitors, and they currently are not operational. And this is because they started with the same approach of carbon trading, but they made carbon-backed securities like cryptocurrencies. So they made cryptocurrencies out of these carbon credits. And that basically made it more amorphous. Like they lost value of exactly what the carbon credit is, and now it's a market value for that cryptocurrency. So last year, Vera and Gold Standard, which verify these carbon credits, they have kind of banned from people or different platforms doing this because it loses the true value of decarbonization. The other competitor, which is Power Ledger, it's very good. It's operational. It's based in Australia. So they mostly focus on RECs, which are renewable energy credits. And they work with Google as well. So they would be a major competitor if they were to enter this verified carbon trading platform because they already have their system in place.
Follow-up is any one of this on the blockchain based?
So Toucan and Kilimidao were blockchain based because they wanted to run their cryptocurrencies, and now they have been shut down in the past 1 year because they have been banned not to use cryptocurrency for the carbon credits.
That's me.
Hey, Niranjan, great job so far. So look, I try to understand, you've got sellers and you have buyers.
Yes.
Can you comment a little bit about how many buyers would you need for one seller or vice versa? I would imagine you would need a lot more sellers than buyers.
Yes, that is true. We did a critical mass calculation back of the envelope. So based on our analysis, like if you target, say, tech companies which are mid-sized, they have very aggressive ESG targets. They have high willingness to pay. So, but they also have very high requirements of carbon credits because of their data centers. But on the other hand, the climate tech companies are much smaller. So I would say that that ratio is maybe around between 3 to 1 or 5 to 1, because it's not just like each carbon credit is not created equal. So a carbon credit can be from $5 to $50 depending on what activity was done. So for example, if someone has a reforestation effort, that carbon credit has a very low value because it's $5 because you're just planting trees. But on the other hand, if someone like Semvita or someone is doing direct to air capture, that has a much higher value. So it's a bit more complex mix of carbon credits. But as you correctly pointed out, there is going to be more sellers. And to this effect, we have talked to some of these companies. We work with some of them in Houston, in Texas. So considering that these are small to mid-size, there is always going to be more sellers because they also need to have a platform to match with the buyers in a sense.
Okay, are you considering some exclusivity with the sellers that they would work only with you for selling their carbon credits through your 3% transaction?
Yeah, so that's a very interesting argument. So 3%, first of all, comes from a normal brokerage fee. If you do with Charles Schwab, Fidelity, any of the big brokers, they charge the same. So that's not outrageous. These companies already do that transaction. In terms of exclusivity, now there are two types of carbon markets. So there is voluntary and compliance. So compliance, forces them to buy. Voluntary can be them doing on their own. So at this point, we are not in a negotiating power that we can go to up to Dell and say that, hey, you need to get into a exclusivity contract with us. So at this point, I think we may not have the negotiating power as a small startup, but eventually down the line, if we get big players like Google or Amazon, like 5 years down the line, who have very high carbon emissions, we can get that.
Got it. Thank you. Look, your supply comes from the sellers. The exclusivity should be anchored on the sellers. The demands on the buyer side. So that's what you may want to get exclusivity on the sellers. Thank you.
Yeah, that's true as well.
So great job, Niranjan. Great concept. I'm also closely related to this space. I know we don't have much time, so what I really wanted, I wished we could have spent more time on the team. You kind of really went through it very fast. I never got a chance to see the team, and so maybe for your future presentations, you may want to allocate your time accordingly, so you can spend some time here. And yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Other than that, I don't have many questions. I did have one question though, when you said that the two competitive companies have discontinued or gone out of operation because of crypto, but you'd be using blockchain. Can you tell me the difference between crypto and blockchain real quick?
So blockchain is a ledger. So what we will be using is a ledger so that each transaction is verified by at least 6 different nodes. What crypto does, uses the same technology, but then it creates a market token, basically a coin that has a certain perceived market value. So what these companies did, they took real carbon credits, and based on that, they made carbon-backed securities, which were cryptocurrencies. So if your carbon credit is worth at $5, but the cryptocurrency is being sold at $50, now there is a loose association with what is actually happening in the decarbonization, like what actually the carbon credit is worth and at what cost it is being sold in the market. So that correlation became lost. And as you have more cryptocurrency, if you have used Bitcoin, there are, I think, 1 billion transactions on Bitcoin that happen every week. On the other hand, there are only 30,000 transactions that happen on a yearly basis in the US in terms of carbon credits, because you can't trade it. Like once you trade it to someone, it has to be retired because it's non-fungible.
If I could ask you to wrap up, please.
Yeah. On the other hand, the crypto is fungible and it just keeps on transacting. So that kind of, lost them their cause basically.
Okay, judges, we're out
Very
of time for the Q&A. So if I could ask you to put your scores in, please, and I'm going to try and see if I can see that. Just a comment to the students and to the judges. It will be helpful if you keep your answers brief and you address the question directly, right? Please don't elaborate on the answer because we have very limited time and it's not fair to the other teams.
I'm watching the monitor for you, Ram, as well. Chandu submitted his, so we're just waiting on 2 more. Let me know if you've got it open, then I won't.
Good. I'm glad you're verifying because I'm just trying to check whether I'm looking at the right thing, but I see it's turned green for Chandu so far.
Okay, excellent. So you've got it. Thank you.
You can see mine green, right?
Actually, I'm having trouble loading it right now, so I'm glad you told me that you're green.
I'm confirming that all 3 judges, Ram, have submitted their scores.
Okay,
To go. To
very good, thanks, because my browser is loading slowly. So let's proceed to the next team. So this is student team 3, Panoply. I think it's Tejas, is it?
Yes.
Would you mind sharing your screen and give me a minute
Sure.
to recalibrate my my clock? Okay, so I don't see your screen yet. Are you sharing?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Oh wait. Okay. Okay. I think it's. Okay. It says I have to quit and reopen for it to share. Do you mind taking for me to take a minute?
Just do it. Go ahead.
Just go ahead and do
Okay.
it. We'll wait.
Yeah. Ram, you've got the link in your WhatsApp in case you wanted to open the monitor on your phone.
Ah, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Great, got it.
If anyone is curious, I'll go ahead and for the benefit of everyone, we've got the this automatic awesome system that checks everything, make sure there's no duplicates and all of that happening in the back end. All of this data, by the way, that we collect will make available to the students as feedback from the judges, the audience, from all the rounds that they take place, so they could see their own progression, they could see their own you know, the effort, all that data will help you move it forward. All right, I think he's back. There he is.
Okay. Thank you so much. I can now share my screen. Sorry for the delay.
No problem.
Okay. Do you see it?
It's coming up. Boy, I think my network is slow or something because I still see it.
No, you can't see it.
Oh, you can't
Oh,
see it either? Okay, so it's just not me. Okay, there we go.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Okay, very good. So whenever you're ready, please go ahead and start. Ready? Go ahead.
Okay. So, okay. Sorry, I'm if I could take a quick minute.
Okay. Just start speaking whenever you're ready and I'll start, but we're waiting on you.
Okay, okay. Okay. Great. Thank you so much. Sorry. I've been presenting this pitch for only about 10 minutes. Yet during that time, 12,000 plastic utensils have already been gone to waste. In fact, by the time we're done with our 10-minute pitch, over 700,000 utensils will have been thrown away, being left to harm our oceans, beaches, forests, and more. That's the weight of 2.5 cars or 10,000 pounds of plastic utensil waste alone. If this sounds grim to you, then we have the solution. Hi, I'm Tejas.
I'm Zorik.
Hi, I'm Rishabh.
Hi, I'm Zia, and we're Panoply Co. Now, I'm sure we've all heard about the endless negative implications of plastic waste in our world today. But did you know that over 100 million pounds of plastic utensils specifically are consumed every year and are hardly ever recycled? After reaching landfills, they release toxic chemicals like dioxin that can lead to many major health issues. Now, as incoming college students who will soon get into the inevitable habit of using plastic utensils, whether that be through takeout, the dining hall, or, let's be honest, parties, we realized how much we could contribute to this issue. So we wanted to find a solution.
Introducing EcoWare, our detachable and zero-waste utensil kits. Each standard kit includes a fork, spoon, knife, and chopsticks. Simply take one half of the utensil and clasp it with the other end, and voila, you have a utensil ready to go. We sell each individual EcoWare for $7.99 and have a bundle option for all 4 colors for $24.99. All parts included in the kit are made completely out of wheat straw, the byproduct of harvested piece of wheat. Each kit lasts around 2 to 3 years, and once it reaches the end of its life cycle, just toss it in your compost bin and watch the magic happen.
Although we know that there's a multitude of plastic utensil substitutes on the market, we wanted to create one that was ultimately sustainable and customizable. To do this, we partnered with our local HCC Fab Lab, a state-of-the-art facility for all things manufacturing in our local area. Here, we were able to include personalized brandings of the customer's choosings and include initials, names, and engravings. These deconstructed utensils will then be able to fit inside a pocket-sized wheat straw container that can easily be taken to classes, work, and more.
Before producing our product, we took a deeper dive into current market trends. According to Greenprint survey, 82% of young people are more likely to support sustainable initiatives. So we narrowed down our target market to millennials and Gen Z individuals who share our eco-centric values. Because 92% of our surveyed community members consider buying EcoWare, and 630,000 Gen Z and millennials live in Houston, we estimated around 500,000 potential customers in our area alone.
In the 92%, we found that our primary target customers are those who live in urban to suburban areas. These individuals, typically between the ages of 18 to 38 years old, are proven to be avid online shoppers. Because these customers are worried about plastic waste and share our concerns and ideals about global warming, our sustainable utensil kits will address their needs.
Moving on to our business model, we wanted to create a business model separated into 4 crucial phases. Currently, we have our current state, moving on to an action plan, a marketing plan, and then a future state. In our current state, we realized the market potential of sustainable goods as soon as the world progresses into more sustainable materials. So with our fully biodegradable and detachable utensil kits, we looked for a manufacturer for our kit and were able to find one that was sustainable end to end. Then from there, we expanded regionally and moved on to international marketing through our social medias, and we gained further capital through pitch competitions in our local area. Next, we move on to paid ads and Facebook on Facebook and Instagram, and we really tried to emphasize how our utensils could save the world from plastic utensil waste. In expansion, we want to vertically integrate our processes for manufacturing because of better communication that we can have. And this will allow us to experiment with research and development into things such as straws, napkins, packaging, and more that can innovate the world.
Because 90% of those in our target market use social media, we take advantage of our online social platforms on TikTok and Instagram to make informative and promotional posts to reach our target audience. We spread brand awareness by creating repost challenges and giveaways throughout the year that encourage our customers to interact with our mission.
Because farmers markets have been successful revenue streams for us in the past, we have continued selling at places central to our target audiences, like the Siena and Imperial farmers markets. Additionally, we have partnered with various family-owned restaurants and organizations in the Houston area, like Fanush Burger and Red Circle Ice Cream. These restaurants have agreed to display our products on their storefront for customers to see when ordering a yummy treat. We ultimately chose to work with smaller businesses, not only for them to bring attention to our mission, but also for us to support their inspiring stories and initiatives. Lastly, with the ongoing effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, we will use our e-commerce website as a channel to cater to customers who prefer online shopping.
Moving on to basic financials, after sales in our high school and various areas around the area in the region, we have a net profit of $7,401, returning a ROI of 1,138% to our shareholders with an initial stock of only $650 with $25 per share. Given the huge market potential of the sustainable goods market, with a CAGR of 20.6%, the market is expected to rise, according to Fortune Research, from 16 billion to 51 billion in the following years. Now, as we take a look at our income statement on the right, we can see that we have revenue and prize money that we have developed through the year. And as we come down, we can see that expenses are low due to our very high gross profit margin of 91%. And we can see that we have sales tax and charitable donations, 10%, which will be paid to the Plastic Free Foundation to further our cause. Overall, that's how we reached our net profit. And as we come down to the book value of the stock, we have our net profit and total owner's equity. And as you can see here, we increased our share price from $25 to $309.67, which really was favorable for them since they had no, we executed on our mission as we were supposed to, and resulted in a 1,138.69% ROI in only 3 months. So here we have our team. So what was really impactful for us was with parents who were initially born in India, they saw the detriments of plastic waste and different types of waste in their community. So when they moved to America, the land of opportunity, they realized that they needed to portray the detriments of plastic waste to their children. And this is where we really stepped up. We were taught from childhood to not litter and to really clean up the world, and being able to be fortunate enough to be in America and spreading a positive message is our goal going into the future.
Hi, we hope you can help us achieve our goals and grant us the seed money needed to continue improving our product. Our ask will primarily fund the production and supply chain process. Regarding specific fund allocations, we plan to use 60% on research and development. Currently, we manufacture everything in East Asia, so our goal is to find local manufacturers to work closely with to ensure our products are up to par with our expectations. This also includes testing out new colors, packaging options, and utensil designs, like the addition of a straw or reusable napkin.
Then, with 12%, we aim to improve our outreach and marketing through paid advertisements on platforms such as Instagram and Facebook. This can also include finding micro-influencers to partner with to boost awareness for our product. With the additional 8%, we hope to enhance our internal development by hosting company socials, improving membership recruitment, and increasing collaboration. We aim to invest the rest into production so we can increase the inventory we have right now, especially for the bulk orders we've received thus far.
Just under a minute left.
Remember, one EcoWare kit alone can save over 10,000 plastic utensils from reaching landfills.
So help us save the planet one bite at a time. Support EcoWare and invest in Panoply Co. today. Thank you.
Excellent, with more than 30 seconds left. Well done. So judges, you have 5 minutes to ask your questions. Please go ahead.
Vinita, you go first. You mute.
You mute.
Sorry. Great job, guys. Very interesting initiative. But what I do have a question around is consumer habit. So what I got from the presentation was that we are trying to replace plasticware, and typically plastic utensils are used as disposables. That means it's a one-time usage. You use it and you throw it. But from what I'm getting from the presentation is that you are suggesting that this is a reusable kit and you keep it for up to 2 years. You can keep it up to 2 years before it disintegrates or degrades after that. Is that the case? So how do you think, or how do you expect the habits to change? Is that a pattern that you're seeing, or can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So we've done some research with our partner restaurants, and we saw that the habits of people using utensils when faced with our product had gone down as much as 40%. And because people, a lot of people know that harming the environment may not be beneficial for the long term. So they see the benefit in that moment, especially in a restaurant. And yes, our kit is fully dishwasher safe, and it lasts for 2 to 3 years. And a lot of people think it's better and convenient to carry this around because it's collapsible.
Also, to add on to that a little bit, like you said earlier, after 2 to 3 years of use, you can compost them. So they don't start disintegrating by their own. Once they're in that composting environment is when they start breaking down. So our whole concept is that they start in the ground from the wheat straw that they're made of, and then end in the ground as well. So there's no plastic ending up in landfills. And yeah, and then like you said earlier, we're trying to change the habits of customers. So every time they buy one of our kits, we take their email address and send them weekly emails about information about how to change their sustainable habits into more sustainable ones. We send out Zoom links to teach them how to make vegan meals or save carbon emissions in their daily lives in general. So we go beyond just our product.
Sorry to interrupt, but you've used over half the time for Q&A. If I could ask you to keep your answers brief, to let the other judges get their questions in. So Sinal, go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah, my question is, as compared to any other compostable utensils, what is your price difference?
Yeah.
Yep. So, okay, I can take this question. So, apologies. Did you say price or like comparison?
Price.
Yeah. So our price is just about where other compostable utensils will be. But the thing is that in comparison to theirs, ours is collapsible due to our design. So
you're saying they're exactly the same as compostable, except you have a feature of reusability.
Yeah. So we have. Oh yeah, you can do.
Yeah. The price is $7.99, and a lot of our competitors are a little bit higher than that, like $12.99 or $15.99. That's their price range. But ours are collapsible, so they're really small and easy to take around and portable, and they're also customizable, so you can add engravings to them as well.
Okay, I'll leave Chandu asking last question.
Yeah, thank you. By the way, love the enthusiasm, so thanks for that. Guys, what is the meaning of Panoply, and why have you not considered, or have you considered combining a spoon, a fork, a knife, and everything else into one piece so you don't have multiple components, you can get rid of the box?
Sure. I can start off with the first part of the question. So we're currently high school students. So we've been doing this business for just a few years, and we came up with the word panoply because it means a collection of impressive things. So over the past few years, we've been making a collection of sustainable alternatives. And then Tejas, do you want to take the second part of the question?
Sure. Sorry, could you please repeat the second part?
Sure. You've got many things in the box. There's technology out there. They can make a spoon and a fork on either side. You can have a knife. So you can have one instrument that does the purpose of many things.
Yes, exactly. So that's one of our goals, to ultimately expand through local manufacturing, because we can have a better design process and workflow if we were to expand in that way. But thank you so much for the suggestion.
Okay.
Very good. We're out of time. So judges, if I could ask you to you do your scoring, you have roughly 4 minutes. And with the benefit of this link, I'll be looking at it on my phone this time. I want to remind you that you should be scoring team 3, Panoply, right? We're skipping ski team 2. Sorry for that. While the judges are scoring, if I could ask Panoply to stop sharing, and we could tee up the next team, team 4, to start sharing, and we'll wait till the judges finish before we go ahead.
I'll give you inside information, folks. Dallas is already, Austin is on team 3 now. So you guys are about 30 seconds behind. They just finished and the team 3 started, but you're good. Reminder, the audience feedback link is in the chat. Feel free to give each other feedback to the other teams who just presented.
So we have 2 of the judges completed, just waiting on 1 more.
Ram, you've got all 3 now.
Okay, very good. So team 4, are you sharing your screen?
Not yet. One moment.
Please go ahead.
Whoa. I don't know why this is happening.
It's good.
Oh, okay, it's good.
Yeah, we can see.
Oh,
Ravi, I want to confirm again, you've got all 3 because I'm not showing it on mine yet. So that's why.
Yes, sir. They're all 3 are there.
Okay, very good. So then team 4, just give me a minute. You have 10 minutes whenever you start speaking. Please go ahead.
good morning. Today we are here to present a seamless video conferencing platform, Sound Radius. Speak outside the box. Woo! So Sound Radius, wait 1 second. This is blocking my view. Okay. Our unique proposition is that Sound Radius is a video conferencing platform for e-learning. We have the proximity chat feature, which allows you to talk to people that are nearby kind of like some video game where you can hear and speak to players nearby. And scalable radius. You can change the size of your radius. And radius represent a visual representation of your vocal range. You can speak loud to talk to the whole classroom, or you can speak loud to just talk to the people right next to you. Okay. So our inspiration came from a problem, multiple problems actually. But the main problem is talking to big groups and separating them can be difficult task during video calls. So I had a marketing professor who was 75 years old. He's super passionate about marketing, and he was trying to break us into groups during to breakout rooms using Zoom. But it was really difficult for him to learn for the learning curve of Zoom. And he wanted the students to brainstorm marketing strategy, but it was really hard for him to do that. Also, with Sound Radius, it can help classes like language learning class, such as a Spanish classroom where we need to get into pairs to practice language conversation. So the solution is creating a virtual environment for users to move around freely and talk to whoever they want. So when two video overlap with one another is when you can hear and speak to each other. Above, we have the typical gallery mode, but below is what Sound Radius will provide. I want to go ahead and talk about the market. There's $2.0 billion for US video conferencing market alone, and 6.28 for worldwide conferencing market. And in 2029, there will be $14.58 billion market. So it is a very, it is on the rise. So furthermore, how does Sound Radius actually work? So first, we have the toolbar that can control the size of your radius. If you put it here, you will be mute, and here you'll be just around yourself. And with the full radius, you can talk to the whole classroom. So a teacher might say, hey guys, get into groups of pairs. And you can simply drag and drop yourself to get into groups of pair with your fellow peers and start practicing conversation, brainstorming, live collaboration. From mute, room size, and bigger, you can reach the whole classroom. So you are free to move everywhere and choose who you want to talk with, simple as drag and drop. And once your two radius overlap, it asks you a prompt to do a video call where you can start speaking and hearing one another. So all of these circles are video calls or profile pictures, same as Zoom, except it is in radius, and we have the overlapping feature where we can talk and hear each other.
No. So what is our goal? So first we need investments of minimum of $250,000 for development and maintenance of Sound Radius. To launch a web platforms of any device can use Sound Radius. Now we want to reach a local market here in Houston. We want to reach HISD that by itself has around 192,000 students. In the Houston region, it's around 1.3 million students alone. And after that, we want to advertise. We want to reach prospects. And well, let Sound Radius be here around the nation through mainstream social media, like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube ads. We can see memes of Sound Radius going around, people just speaking nonsense. But the thing is, it's a fun concept of Sound Radius. That we want to reach a national market. We want to have school institutions. People can use Sound Radius across the nation and then worldwide market. From HISD to kids in Tokyo can use Sound Radius to enhance their online learning. So meet the team.
So I'm the CEO. I started working on this idea back in pandemic. I have 2 associate degree from Houston Community College, and I have a mass media arts degree here at Houston Christian University. This is not my first rodeo. My one competition that I won was back at a NASA competition where our team won $10,000 grant to build a prototype. And I have also won a hackathon for climate change about electrical vehicles. And I got to be featured in the NPR radio talk show. And our next is CTO. He couldn't make it today because he's currently attending class at Southern Methodist University for data science. That's his master's program. For bachelor's, he did electrical engineering at Texas A&M University. He will help us with data security, backend development, and bring in more Aggies in the team to help with the engineering aspect.
And myself, Fernando, I am a freshman in college right now. I'm working on my bachelor's for cinematic arts, film, movies, and a minor in creative writing. I'm a natural born storyteller, and I like to talk.
Awesome.
So our competitive analysis. So what is the difference between Sound Radius and the giants of Discord, Zoom, Microsoft Teams is that these platforms only stay inside the box of gallery mode, where we can just see each other's screen, but we cannot move around. That's where Sound Radius goes beyond the box, so we can just move around and talk to whoever we want to. We're free just to interact with whoever we want.
Awesome.
So our financial projection, by year one, we want to reach users here in the local area, around 10,000 users. That will be $300,000 in year one, but we divide in labor, marketing, and hardware IT. By year two, we want to reach HISV in local schools in Houston, like U of H, HCU, HCC, and Texas Southern. I mean, it's 1.3 students in Houston region by itself. And if we can make this cheaper than the competition, we can save money to them and we can make profit. By year three, we want to reach the nation. We use a lot of marketing. By year four, we want to reach, we'll have schools, institutions like across the US. In year five, I mean, just expanded, like the limitations are endless. I mean, we want to reach the world. So how can we use this money, these investments? $250,000 for back-end development. We want to have a strong foundation of Sound Radius to test that it works properly and can be accessible to anyone. Now, they might say that these giants like Zoom or Microsoft Teams have already a big share of the market, but it's all about preferences. And I know, like, by 2029, the market should be around $14 billion. So to take a share of that huge pie, we can start now. The Chinese proverb, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is now. So now let's do Sound Radius to start now and let it grow into a huge tree.
Just over a minute left.
Yeah,
we're done.
Thank you.
Excellent. Very well. Good. So judges, you have 5 minutes for your questions starting now.
Nandu, go first.
Okay, great job, guys. Again, love the enthusiasm. Can you speak a little bit to, is this a live product? Have you, tried it in a few classrooms? And what is something that is, do you have anything that is patentable or something that you're trying to apply as a provisional patent?
Yes, so this is not a live product yet. We have MVP, most viable prototype of just the UI UX aspect on Figma, and so it's not, we don't have a whole lot of backend right now, but Dami is working on that. And with the patent wise, it will be the scalable radius and the proximity chat, the coding for that part. Those will be something that we will be working on to patent in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah, my question is, how are you going to, who's going to pay for it and how much?
So, well, right now what we are doing is going to pitch competition and pitch competitions to try to win awards through that. Previously, we've had some, family and friends that is helping me with some of our expenses, and one of our mentor is actually an
sorry. I meant from a customer standpoint, not
Yes,
from not from investment.
Oh, with the customer standpoint. Yes, with the customer standpoint, we are planning to do yes, so first we'll reach to the schools, and we are hoping that the school allocates certain amount of funding for video communication. They have, I think, I don't know, like a few $1,000s per year for a Zoom or Microsoft Teams, and we are hoping that eventually that will be allocated to us.
So they like in the United States by itself, they spend around $1,193 per student from K grade to 12th grade. And we want to reach, or we want to sell our license $30 a year. That is cheaper than Zoom that costs around $1,800, but it's really limited because they sell just 20 hosts, and that's around $300. 300 participants, and that's around $6 per user. So if we can lower that cost for the students, for the institution like schools, that's a profit for them that they can spend something else, help them to invest more in education.
Yeah.
And that's a win for us where we can win our money.
Thanks.
Yeah, so good job, guys. Again, guys have great enthusiasm and interesting product. My question really was around the mode of action. So it seems that the radius is very flexible, right? So you can change the radius, and so can the other party as well.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to understand, say, if in my radius right now I have 10 different people, what is to say, and I want to engage with one of them, and then that particular person narrows the radius. So I may be out of the vicinity, right?
Yeah. So, well, one thing is only teachers will have the scalable radius up to classroom, or up to 5 people or whatever. The students won't have the announce to the classroom effect unless the teacher gives them that type of authority. So we are going to have, we are going to definitely give more sizable radius to the facilitator, to the teacher. And in terms of also, we are thinking about making like a grid, not like gallery mode, but if someone has to be stuck in, let's say, some students, if some students cannot be with certain students because they always talk so much and they cannot focus each other, then we are going to have some sort of grid where teacher will only be given the drag and drop authority. So we are very flexible on giving the teacher the most authority. And I think with that, we can work around other, the students that are getting distracted to make their radius go everywhere, that type of stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you. Time is up. So judges, you have 4 minutes for your scoring. And if I could ask you to unshare, please, and the next team 5, to begin sharing, just to line us up. So reminder, judges, your ratings team 4 now, right now.
Ron, you have 2 of 3.
Yeah, I see 2 out of the 3 right now. So,
Okay.
so let me know, Ravi, because I think my my phone is a bit slow on up refreshing here.
No worries. Okay, you have 3 of 3.
Very good. So we'll now move to team 5. Just give me a minute to update my clock. So you have 10 minutes starting from whenever you start speaking. Please feel free to go ahead. You can start.
All right. Well, thank you to everyone for being here today and good morning. We felt it, where healthcare meets comfort. Have you ever been walking down a long road, maybe a jog or a run, and you realize that you wore the wrong shoes? So you are so uncomfortable, your legs are shaking, your feet are burning, and you are just like, where did I go wrong? This is the daily situation for over 12 million users of mobility devices in the United States. The problem that we're trying to solve is for these 12 million users, according to the National Institute of Health, that regularly use either a cane, a walker, or a wheelchair. Um, These devices support both long-term disabilities, such as paralysis and multiple sclerosis, as well as short-term disabilities like a broken leg. And this market actually does increase by 2 million every year due to regular accidents. And the users can be between 18 to 65 years old. Um, What we've seen from customer interviews is that there's a lot of dissatisfaction with mobility devices. So a lot of what we've been hearing is that they're uncomfortable, they're expensive, and they have a limited ease of use, which isn't the point of a mobility device, to be mobile and to increase agility and accessibility in their everyday life. In this market, our total addressable market is about 115 million. This is because the average cost of our unit is $9.64. So multiplying that by the chart that we just saw of walkers, canes, and wheelchair users, we get about 115 million. And for the serviceable addressable market, we also have about 39 million. And of this, considering 24% of the market share, we have $9 million for the serviceable obtainable market. And compared to our competitors, there are some weaknesses on the local scale. In Houston, we have companies such as LiveWell and Safeway Medical Supply, who are independent distributors of these mobility devices, as well as modifications to them. On the national scale, our largest competitor is the Betty Mills company, which is actually the largest manufacturer of wheelchairs and walkers in the United States, as well as the Veterans Affairs. But compared to ours, their delivery speeds, their ease of use, and also their expenses are much higher than ours. So our competitor advantage is that we provide these same modifications or similar at a discounted price because they are 3D printed. Current solutions that we see today are tennis balls on the feet of walkers. Oftentimes with regular use of these modifications, they need a safety light or a cup holder just because they're being used so often. And a lot of these are to improve safety, but unfortunately can end up making situation and tennis ball manufacturers, because these are not a viable solution or a long-term solution, as the felt on the bottom quickly wears out from being rubbed against concrete, carpet, tile, wood. And as you can see, this whole cost for just these 3 products is about $50. And with the average walker, excuse me, being about $250, this cost just isn't feasible for a lot of users. And even with disability aid, unfortunately, this is not the case for it to be affordable. Our solution is to 3D print these products. As you can see, the total of $4, $3, and $4 again is just about $18, which is a $32 difference between the previous solution. So our premier product is the OctaGlide on the left, which replaces the function of tennis balls on the end of walkers and has 8 sides of felt instead of 1. So it is 8 times increasing the lifespan and also delaying the replacement. We've also seen from our customers that flag holders and cup holders are a very nice touch, especially in assisted living homes where they want to market their favorite sports team or maybe their military branch. So we have printed those as well. And the value that we bring to the market is that unlike our competitors, we have a value-driven cost structure. We're not focused on minimizing costs, we're focused on maximizing comfort. So for the same problems that we saw being reported, limited ease of use, being uncomfortable and being expensive, what we bring is a wide range of products which can expand the ease of use. The comfort is maximum to the user because we retrofit these products exactly to their need. Again, we are a designer, so every design is made with comfort in mind, not at the expense of comfort and not at the expense of your wallet. This is a very cost-effective ergonomic solution because it's 3D printed. So for our business model, we are a B2B play. We are hoping to be a designer that will create a license agreement upon patent approval with local distributors. We hope to eventually partner with the Betty Mills Company on a national scale and eventually the Veterans Affairs Office. We believe with this that we can have a good model of license agreements with them with hopefully a 2.5 to 5% royalty agreement. And this will be our main revenue stream, are these royalties. The pricing strategy, as you can see, for the Octaglide, we have $4. The cup holder is $4 as well, and the flag holder is our cheapest one. Projections, we hope to reach $32,000 just in the first year. We're hoping to go live with sales this year and bringing that all the way to 100,000 in 3 years. We believe this is feasible because right now we're at per unit about $1.64 for creation and production, and for an extra large spindle of polycarbonate material, we're actually 3D printing about 25 molds of the Octaglide. And so it's a pretty sustainable model. A little bit about myself. My name is Caroline Shiloh. I'm pursuing an undergraduate degree in supply chain management at the University of Houston. I have a background in the oil and gas manufacturing industry, and my roles currently in this business are product development, social media presence, finance, all of it. I'm a solo team right now, and my mentor is Manish Vakil. The next steps that are really going to launch us into the marketplace are contacting partnerships. So we really need to reach out to orthopedic groups and the Betty Mills Company. I also need to build a team, and then funding is going to be the next step of this process. So as we're building a team and as we're raising funding, we're mostly looking for mentorship, whether it be design, engineering, or even patent law, because what we're experiencing is just just kind of a halt at this point. We've raised about $750 so far in scholarships and pitch competitions, but this provisional patent that we want to apply for is about $2,000. And the current website that we have right now doesn't receive a lot of traffic, and we're hoping to purchase an actual domain, so that brings it to $150. All in all, in funding, we're seeking about $3,000 to $4,000. This is mostly because of prototyping. We want to work with more ergonomic materials that are more durable and long lasting. And then we will have to meet some medical standards to create these licenses with distributors. And then we can finally reach commercialization and ship out these products through the distributors. And with that, I will open for questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. More than a minute left. Really well done to deliver your pitch. So judges, you have 5 minutes for your questions starting now.
Okay, well, Sunil, I'll go ahead. Well, Caroline, great job. Can you describe specifically, because the TAM said was for the mobility devices, but I understand that your business is the accessories for those devices. So I think the TAM should be focused on the accessories. So let me know if my assessment is correct. And what exactly is your secret sauce compared to maybe somebody else down the lane and producing these exactly the way that you're going to manufacture them?
That's a great question. The TAM, I believe I misspoke. We're not producing the devices at all. You're correct. It is the modifications. And for that, yes, I was doing the $9.64 divided by, multiplied by, I can go back to that chart that we had, but yeah, so that was by the total number of all of these devices. So the 12 million by 964, that's how I got the TAM. And the secret sauce, I would say, is just being ergonomic. I haven't seen anywhere on the market a polycarbonate model of this. The best that I've seen is a company called Therafin that created kind of a gummy plastic that does hold the tennis ball in place. But again, it's not a full replacement for the problem being that the felt runs out so quickly. It's not the best solution because you're constantly buying tennis balls, you're constantly replacing them. So while that is a good product for holding the tennis balls, I believe that the felt is the best solution because it is 8 times the lifespan, delays the um, delays the replacement period.
Okay, thank you.
My question's actually two. One is whether you have actually made these products and have some people actually use them, even in a small batch, if you like. And then the other thing is, what is your assumption of the regulatory requirement for in terms of time and money?
Yes. Currently, I don't have sales and we don't have users. We have from customer interviews, we have 23 commitments to buy the product, but I currently have 30 prototypes ready to be distributed, but I didn't want to hand them out yet because I do fear the legal adversities. And so I'm hoping to file for an LLC and also for that non-provisional patent. Once I get some legal help, I feel like I'll be comfortable to give out the prototypes, even if not to sell, but to just gauge the use of it. Some hurdles that I anticipate, we do have to meet medical standards. Like I said, really just need a lawyer and to look like, because in order to be a B2B play and to get this license agreement with distributors, we have to meet their standards. And again, that's just going to be a lot of time. It's going to be a lot of money and just a lot of red tape.
Yeah. Okay.
Vinitha?
Yeah. Hey, Caroline, I also have a couple of questions. Looking at this prototype, it does have a flat surface or at the bottom. And a typical tennis ball is, of course, round. And actually, my mother uses one of those walkers, so I'm a little familiar with it. And I was just wondering, wouldn't this hinder mobility? I mean, since it's flat and not round at the bottom?
It wouldn't hinder mobility. The felt that we use is actually softer than the felt on tennis balls. And so because of this, for those surfaces like carpet, wood, and tile, it would actually be more beneficial. And as far as the surface area of a tennis ball, it's about 1.5 inches across. And it's the same for the Octaglide. So you actually reach about the same surface area, but again, with 8 different applications. And like I said, the felt on the bottom of a tennis ball is actually meant to be, is actually meant to have more traction. And this one being softer and smoother, it just glides easier than a tennis ball would.
Okay, thank you. And also, I thought in the beginning when you were introducing the product, you were talking about people running and jogging and shoes. So I thought this was more about shoes, and then we sort of switched over to, these accessories. So I thought there was a little bit of a disconnect with the there.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks very much, judges. So 4 minutes to complete your judging. And while we're doing that, Caroline, if I could ask you to stop sharing. And if I could ask Team 6, I believe, to share. Hey, Ravi, I don't see Team 6 here. Do you? They were on.
You're right, Ram. They were on earlier and they dropped off for whatever reason.
Yeah, Daryl is team 6. I can reach out to them.
Yep, they're the last ones. So
Yep, you're waiting on one more judge scoring, and let me reach out to them just to make sure what happened. Ram, I did speak with the student. His computer completely drained out of juice. He's trying to find a charger, and he actually also said he does not want to. He's gonna try, but he understands that he's not gonna. If he does, he is willing to forfeit if he doesn't make it in the next 1 minute. so he's saying he's running in his car to find the right thing, but he's also realizing that he may not be able to.
okay, well,
It's an interesting thing. It's an EV startup, right?
Yeah, he's running around looking for the battery.
If I may, let's give him a couple of minutes. Is everybody
Yeah.
okay? I think
Yeah,
things happen.
we have time, right? So we have time. Let's give him 2 to 5 minutes. I mean,
Okay.
if we start at noon, we'd finish on time, I think, right?
Okay, I'll call him and just let him know because he sounded like he's given up hope. I'm like, hey, what's going on? He's like, my battery. And he's just, all right, let me call him.
He needs to charge his EV.
The other option is if anyone else has a copy of that presentation, maybe they could share.
I do have the copy, but
And he could call him through his phone.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. If Ravi becomes his presentation driver and he just calls out the slides.
Ravi has to rename his name to PH.
okay. He said, thank you for your patience. He's going to try to be there by 12. He's pushing for whatever he needs to get it charged and to join. But we do have a copy of the presentation.
Ravi, you could have him, you could bring up the presentation, drive for him and have him call out the slide changes to you on the phone.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, that's what Chandu suggested, so.
Yeah, good suggestion. Let me get a slide. I appreciate everyone's kindness in this process. Thank you.
We need the Sound Radius team to work on proximity charging.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. Yeah, like
Hey, we
this.
can put it to the notes. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, then it will be called
Sound.
energy radius.
Energy radio.
Yeah.
We'll put it on the flash
Yeah,
drive here.
we'll write it
down.
right now. Anyway.
But they should learn from this experience. You know, you can lose out on a lot if you don't have your devices charged.
Yeah, you're right. You know, it absolutely freaks me out actually to on events like these to have backups and backups on things. Actually, a couple of one of my friends, they have triple redundancy on internet service exactly for this kind of reason, right? Because they do a lot of webinars and things like that, and you can't afford to have your internet go down. Must cost them a fortune.
Mhm.
Hey, judges, if you wanted a head start on reading the slides, I'm gonna send it to you individually. Chandu, you've got it in the chat. Sunil, it's in your chat now. Benita, it's in your chat now.
So what do you want? This is to look at the presentation, you mean?
If you wanted to start looking at it and make your
okay.
Scoring decision, waiting for Daryl, he's got a minute more to go. He said he's gonna be logging in. I don't see him yet anywhere.
Well, you could have him just dial in, send him the dial-in information and push the slides for him if he knows his slides.
Good idea. I'm almost sensing cold feet, by the way. Okay.
Okay. Well, if
so
that's
I'm
what
not-
it is,
I-
there's not a lot you can change around that. Then.
Yeah. That's why I want to be
Hey, it
careful.
improves the odds for all the teams who actually made it.
Absolutely. I mean, one in four.
I suspect you're right because the presentation is empty.
Welcome to Zoom. Enter your meeting ID.
He's coming in by phone, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's see if we can hear him. Daryl, can you try talking?
You are
Hey. Oh.
Daryl, can you try talking?
Hello, hello. Check.
Yeah, you're off my speakerphone.
Is this better?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we
Can we hear him? Can we hear him if
Yep,
off my speaker?
we can hear him.
Yep.
Okay, Daryl, I've got your slides shared, and the judges are confirming they could hear you.
So Ravi, I can't see your slides. Can you share them?
Yes, 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, Daryl, you're good
Tell
to
them
go.
to start speaking.
Your time, and Daryl, just hey, when you start talking, they're gonna grade you. So you're live. Go ahead.
Okay. So hi. My name is Daryl. I represent my team for the idea of Malcolm EV, which is a sort of electric generator system that is used to be an avenue for electric vehicles to travel long distance. So just go to the introduction slide. Hopefully you guys can see it.
Yep, you're on the introduction slide.
Okay, and so our idea is to incorporate a binary power generation system that will function as an alternate method for charging electric vehicle batteries. And so hopefully we hope to provide a solution that is going to serve as the solution to the downfalls of most electric vehicles that we have today. And so we also want to provide an alternative charging system to conventional combustion engine vehicles. And so this is particularly in pertains to, for example, that would be an easy way for everyone to grasp it would be, let's say about electric vehicles that we have today. One problem that they have is that the batteries that we have in those cars cannot sustain for very long distances of travel. And the problem with that is that in order to be able to travel long distances, you would have to charge it to charging stations which either are not plentiful or they take a long time. And so problem statement is, we can go to the next slide. So we want to solve the major drawbacks with battery-powered vehicles in regards to charging time and to fully recharge the battery. So like I mentioned earlier, that electric vehicles are less ideal to travel long distances, and combustion engine systems are incapable of efficiently harnessing the energy released from the combustion system. Yeah, so like I mentioned right in the introduction, we hope to develop a design for an electric generator that removes the fuel tank that is typically in most commercial electric generators. And by doing so, we hope to create a system that is able to fit many form factors. We want to develop a design to release safer carbon emissions from the generator. And we hope to develop this system so that it functions independently of the charge needed. So it's a system in which it's smart in the sense that it can turn on and off in accordance to the need of the device. And next, we also hope to develop a system that incorporates a reactor for better energy conversions while reducing carbon emissions. And so if we go to the next slide, which is slide 5, there shows a diagram that give or take is the general idea of what we're trying to do, which is we have this electric generator that incorporates the system to convert fuel into electric energy, and within that same system, we hope to incorporate a chemical reactor in order to take advantage of the carbon emissions released by the initial combustion, which then we can use to send the electricity energy into the lithium car battery, which we hope to be able to charge other things, like, for example, in this case, an electric motor. And so in our proof of concept, which is on the next slide, we compared the generation system based on our prior research with conventional combustion vehicle energy systems, which in this case, we're using a normal combustion engine car as the baseline. And so we've concluded that the usable energy through our system will most likely be around 72 to 85% of the initial potential energy within fuel. Followed by, if you were to compare that to a conventional combustion vehicle energy system, you can really only achieve 12 to 30% efficiency, practically speaking. And so if we can go to the benefits and impact, so we hope that we can create a system that is that makes electric vehicles of all forms of travel more viable, makes the vehicles more efficient, and it allows these electric vehicles that initially weren't viable for third world countries to now be viable, as well as being more environmentally friendly due to the better energy conversion. And so yeah, is there a market potential slide on the slide that you have, Ravi?
There is. I just put it up.
Okay, let's. Can we just skip that to the last line?
Okay. Call to action slide.
Yeah. Yes. So unfortunately, with our ideas, we've only recently developed our team and our ideas. So we have no particular progress as we have we don't have a tangible product, but we have a lot of research papers and we plan to prototype in the future. So with your help, we hope to bring a new generation of electric vehicles that are more efficient, which is also more accessible to masses while being more environmentally friendly.
Okay.
That's it for me.
All right. Hang tight. Let me see. Judges will take any questions.
Yep.
Okay, well, I have one question. Based on this last slide, it talks about future electric vehicles.
Sorry, your voice is not that clear.
Yeah, I will maybe Ravi can relay the question.
Yeah, go ahead and ask.
Yeah. So we're talking about new electric vehicles, or can this technology be somehow retrofit into existing vehicles, Ravi? Existing electric vehicles.
Okay, Daryl, the question is it likely to fit into existing vehicles? Can this technology be fit into existing vehicles?
It could. However, our target market will most likely be companies that are intentionally trying to incorporate this device into their new vehicles. So I know that in this case, I referenced a lot about electric vehicles, but this has avenues for it to be used for something like air travel, which is something that some companies in Dubai have been trying to do, which is they're trying to make an air taxi that has limitations in terms of the duration of use, because the battery is not able to sustain use for over about, I believe, 30 minutes.
Okay, just a follow-up question, Ravi. Is this their invention, this design, or is this something that has been published in papers and they want to bring it to market?
Okay, Daryl, the question is this original invention already somewhere marketed, or is there IP secured on it, or is this just a concept?
So based on our current research, there is no sort of company or product that is exactly like this. And we're currently in the process of looking for IPs or intellectual properties that hopefully we can soon prove that it's an original idea so that we can file a patent in the future. So we're in the process of doing that.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, judges?
No, I had a similar question to Chandu, so I'll pass.
Okay. Manita? Okay. All right. Hey, Daryl, I think we're good on the questions. Ram, go ahead and
yeah. So judges, you have 4 minutes to complete your scoring of this final contestant. And then Ravi, I guess we go into the judges' deliberation at that point.
Okay. You're one judge that's complete, two judges that's completed.
Ravi, at the end of this, the judges going to sequester and then a different breakout room, or what?
So we could even make it easier by just asking all the students to go into the main room and just keep the judges here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably best.
And Willie, just thank you again for all the mentorship
Yes.
that's Core and you have provided. You've been like a trooper. Just I see you all over the place, not only with TiE, but with many other organizations. So we really appreciate your diligence and sticking by the students, even this morning during the finals.
I appreciate that, Ram. Okay, see you guys.
See you. So if we could ask the other student teams to drop out of this breakout room as well and just go up to the unassigned. Okay.
What $1.2 billion. There are different reasons for which the travelers decide to go to duty-free shops, but we can round up in 3 main reasons. The first one is the price. They're looking for good deals. Then for inventory, to find products that are available. And lastly, the convenience. Coming back to the example of the airport, how many times did you go to a duty-free job just to buy a person from your friends because you have to make some time waiting for a next connection?
Perfect. Thank you, Justo. So ironically, even though travelers are focused mainly on price, inventory, and convenience, current no tax shopping alternatives in the state of Texas, and for that matter, all around the world, have the same problem. Duty-free shops and airports do not offer actual duty-free prices. This is mainly outside of alcohol and tobacco. So alcohol and tobacco are very highly taxed merchandise, but outside of this, we did not find a uniform actual discount on duty-free prices. And an important thing also, duty-free shops, because of the high costs of locations and leases at the airports, have very limited inventory. This is, again, outside of alcohol and tobacco. These are the big players. So, and the small players here in the state of Texas, there are different ways to do no tax shopping, and the small players do it in a different way. What they do is they allow the traveler to shop, and then when the traveler comes to their shop, they refund their taxes to them. The thing about the little players is they don't focus on the price. So what they do is they make it their business to charge commissions on the tax they refund. So they take a portion of the tourist taxes, which is not correct because tourists should have 100% of their taxes, and they have very long and inefficient procedures. You have to go, pen and pencil, fill the paper, show your documentation and all this. It takes around 30 minutes to do it. So before we go into solution, I wanted to show you some insights. 56% of the travelers, this is from a survey we did, primary research, 94 respondents, all international shoppers. 56% of the travelers know what they're going to buy before they do their trip. And 72% of survey respondents said that they would buy online and then pick up their merchandise afterward, which is obviously our solution. Nobody really has, or there is no actual consensus on whether duty-free offers an actual discount on the prices. And the most important thing for international travelers is to have a discount at 51%, then location, then time. So this is our solution. What we are, Cacao Tax, is an online store where before doing their travels, travelers will log into our webpage, find out what they want, and they will buy it through our website. And then after coming into Texas, they'll do whatever they want to do here in Texas, very quickly swing by our shop, pick up their merchandise in a box or a bag that we have prepared for them, very quickly sign off on the tax refund, and then we will refund their taxes to their bank accounts or in company credits. And this allows us very specific benefits that currently do not exist with the alternative. So being an online store, we are able to offer unlimited inventory at duty-free prices. So you can buy anything you want and we'll have it prepared for you, just for you to pick up and go. This is a win-win situation for us and for the traveler, because given that the traveler is going to be buying their merchandise from us, then we do not have to take any commissions on the taxes. So the tax service is just an added value that we give to the customer, but we would actually be making our money from selling the merchandise to the travelers. This process allows us a lot of time to prepare and have everything ready. So they're shopping sometime in advance, we will prepare for them. And obviously we refund 100% of their taxes. We automate everything through special custom software that's compliant with tax and trade laws. Just to bring this a little bit further, we wanted to go through an example. So the way it currently works, the tax refunder, any traveler goes and buys to whatever shop they want. For example, a watch for $1,000 and they pay $82 in taxes. Then they go to a small office. These tax refunders all usually have very small offices next to the elevator or behind the bathroom in shopping malls. They take around 35 minutes to see your documentation and process your refund. And they only give you 50% of your taxes. So in this case, the tax refunder would give $41 to the traveler. The traveler would go home with $41, and then the tax refunder would go for the shop and then ask them to give them the $82. So this situation gives the traveler $41, which is 50% of the taxes, and the tax refunder 41 as well. We would not do it this way. What we would do is the traveler would buy from us in advance at $1,000, paying the $82. And then because we have agreements with suppliers on the different inventories, we would actually buy it at a discount, so a wholesaler price. And we would not pay taxes on this because it's a sale for a resale. This is just a tax system in the United States. Then when the traveler goes to our store and picks their item up, we would give them their item, we sign the refund, and then we give them the $82 complete whole in that moment or in company credits. That's a loyalty system. And the way this works is this allows us to get $150. That's a 15% margin on the things we sell, and give the tourist the $82, which is 100% under taxes spent.
There are different markets inside of the state of Texas. We can mention, for example, the University of Texas at Austin, the University of Texas at Dallas, the San Marcos outlets, Woodlands, and even the Port of Galveston. But we want to first make the proof of concept before getting inside each of those markets. So who is the team? Well, Jose Maria and I, we are the founders. We also have two licensed custom brokers who are Scott in Irving, Texas, and Oscar in El Paso. The prototype of our product needs to have three main characteristics. First one is the law compliance. This is mandatory to fulfill all our requirements. Then it has to be automated. We need all our users to provide all the documentation online and in a very seamless process and very easy to use. And finally, the refund taxes process should be automated and very simple. We talk about the state of Texas, which is a huge market, but we don't have actually any limit. We plan to expand eventually nationwide. We want to expand it to all the 50 states. And there are some other markets that we want to explore, specifically like the online luxury market, which is more than $67 billion, and also some of the cruisers. And finally, we already have the custom brokers, we already have the documents, we already have an office, and we already have the trailer. But we need someone to finance that. And that is what we need you for.
That is what we're going to be doing during the summer.
Yes.
Actually going through a process of finding the documentation, getting the stamps, talking to the Texas controller, filling the requisites so that they issue the license to Oscar and then give us the stamps was a big process, but we made it through. We have an office, and at the right you can see we found some accommodation for the summer. It's a very little RV, but it allows us to go to the office and work and start doing this prototype in El Paso. So we hope you help us, and we're excited to start this. We take any questions that you want.
Perfect. I think you're bang on. So you were just about your time. So well done there. I'll open that up for the judges. So Will, Karthik, Satish, if you have any questions for the team.
Yeah, I do. So this is Karthik here. So from what I understand, you are going to have a physical location somewhere?
That is correct. That is our store, and it's basically a warehouse. So we will have all the merchandise ready for the travelers. We will notify them, please pick, or for that matter, they will notify us. My trip is from this day to this day, so we have to have the merchandise ready for them to pick up in the span of their travel.
Okay. Why couldn't you haven't spoken much about competition other than tell us that the problem is there. But why couldn't an ordinary retailer do somewhat of the same? Why don't you maybe empower ordinary retailers with your system to actually potentially do this?
So that is an alternative that we're considering. But the thing is, the way the tax and trade law works, we have to have a specialist in import and export, which is where Oscar comes in, which is the custom broker. So we cannot scale this through technology. We have to be in control of this. So we have considered partnering up with some brands, but they would have to send us the merchandise, and we deliver the merchandise to the tourists. If we deploy it into the market, then it's open for people doing fraud and doing the tax refund and not actually exporting the merchandise. So it has to be handled by a specialist, which is, in our case, Oscar.
Thank you.
This is Will. I have a question. So your ask is 50,000, is that correct?
Yes.
How do you intend to fund the cost of your inventory?
Okay, so that is interesting. If you saw the order that we mentioned, the items, we first sell and then we buy. So we don't actually have to have inventory. So all that we have to do is have an agreement with the wholesalers to buy their merchandise at a discount, because we're going to be buying a lot from them. So this would be an agreement in advance, and we would only buy what we actually already sold.
And so that's what I thought I heard. I just want to make sure that you repeated it. 'Cause at some point, I would want to hear how the logistics of that would work, right? Because that's a lot. Okay, but you answered my question. Thank you. Satish, do you have anything?
One question. So when the tourist returns back to the country, this is just a sales tax refund, right? This is not customs duty, right? You have to pay back when you take the merchandise back to your country. Is that my understanding? I'm not expert in tax law, but just a basic question.
It's a refund on the sales tax on the state of Texas.
I see. And is that the same thing in all? Is that just a Texas thing, or this would apply to any state in the U.S., right? And which has a sales tax, and also would it apply to other countries as well, or this is just a U.S.?
So this is very specific because the U.S. is one of the few countries that the tax system is not on a federal level; it's on a state level. So if you go to Europe, you would see that this refund functions on a federal level, and it's implemented very broadly and very easily across different shops. But because of the fragmented nature of the tax system in the United States, it's on a state-by-state basis. So we would have to do a custom software for each of the states. And to answer your questions, why Texas? So this is legally possible in all of the 50 states in the US. The only thing is that Texas has that is the reason why we came to Texas, and we started with this because we had this idea before. The state of Texas provides for an easier process before doing the very difficult process that all the rest of the states have. So there's an easier process for foreign tourists, which is our first step, so that we can validate the model and then scale it up to not only foreign tourists, but for all international travelers, including US residents.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And Jose, there was one piece which was missing, I think. Do you have competition today? Or do you want to just talk about very quickly on the competition?
Yes, of course. So the competition is very fragmented, or these are our competitors, but it's a very strange market because duty-free is done at big levels. So all the duty-free shops at the airports, I'm sure you've seen them. These are enormous players, but because they have their shops in the airports, and the airports are very expensive, it's very hard to compete with them in that level because they're basically alcohol and tobacco shops. Also some perfumes and some lotions and that kind of thing, but it's not really a competition. You would do better buying off of Amazon. And the small players, they're really accountants and they're tax specialists, but they're focusing only on getting the refund. So what we thought is, why don't we use the tax refund as a hook or as a lure or as an added benefit to the customer, and we can actually play like the big guys, but using the methodology or the lure that the small guys do, because it's very hard to compete with the big guys in their terms.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. This is awesome. So judges, if you don't mind just adding on your feedback on the forms that you have. And the next team, if you don't mind, just screen sharing. So thank you for this. And then
Thank you
let's
very
move
much.
on to the next one.
Thank you, guys. Stop sharing. Stop sharing.
So Team Evo, in the meantime, just, if you don't mind, just sharing your screen, right, while the judges are marking their feedback so that you guys are ready to kickstart.
And if I could ask before we screen share, if the people, there's like 4 or 5 people not sharing their screen, I mean, showing their video, if you could do that, I would like to get one screenshot. Oh, well, we'll try it next time.
Okay. Karthik.
Karthik, Satish, and Ravi.
Yeah, Satish is fine. Satish is actually not well, so we should be okay. All right, Satish, thank you. Wonderful. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And so Karthik and Satish, if you don't mind just adding on to your scores.
I submitted. Did you see it, Harshal?
Yep, I could see that.
Okay, good.
Thanks, Karthik.
Hey, Herschel, just checking in. You have the judges monitor open?
Yep, I do. I'm just looking at that.
Okay.
So Satish is the one who's left out.
The two competitive.
Okay. In the chat, I'll put the audience feedback. If anybody else, if any student wants to give feedback, I'll put it in the chat. I don't know if that's been shared already.
No, that's not Ravi, but we don't
Okay.
have a lot of audience anyway. So, but yeah, feel free to just do that.
With each other, yeah, absolutely. Each student can give each other feedback.
Oh, okay,
as
that's
well.
interesting.
Absolutely. It's a community.
Absolutely, I know that.
Feel free, if you like the other team or you have suggestions for the other team, give them that feedback in the audience feedback link.
All right. So let's move on and let me just start the timer so that we are set here. All right, Team Evo, the floor is yours.
Meet Rhea, a high school student. Her day starts when she wakes up for school, which consists of several excruciating quizzes.
When she gets home, despite being worn out, she does her laundry and then proceeds to work on her homework.
She then goes for a run to clear her mind. After this, she eats her dinner, falling asleep immediately.
Waking up the next morning, this demanding routine repeats. However, what Rhea fails to recognize is that by only focusing on herself physically, she is declining to care for herself intellectually, socially, spiritually, and emotionally, and therefore lives an unbalanced lifestyle, resulting in difficulty stabilizing her overall well-being. This exhausting and restless routine is the reality for many high school students. After years of adversity, we decided it was time to restore the balance in our lives. Hi, I'm Yasmin.
I'm Josie.
I'm Neha.
And I'm Rhea.
And we are Evo, a student-led company from Elkins High School. Daily routines can wear anyone out when they fail to incorporate healthy lifestyle habits. As high school students, we are in our crucial development period, and many of us lack the proper resources and techniques to create a proper foundation for a balanced lifestyle. In fact, according to a survey taken by students in our community, we found that 65% of students were unaware of how to effectively care for themselves in various dimensions of wellness. while 50% did not believe they were living balanced lives. Through our research, we discovered that 38% of students prioritize physical self-care, but when we only focus on one self-care element, we neglect to take into account the other relevant aspects. Students have claimed the consequences of this imbalance has affected their motivation and productivity when completing different activities in and out of school.
The associated problems with the lack of self-care does not end here. According to the American Psychological Association, the development of unbalanced lifestyles during adolescence may lead to a range of physical and mental health problems in adulthood.
With this, Evo strives to promote well-balanced lifestyles by assisting individuals in their self-care journey. So today, we are so proud to introduce Unoya, a 50-count card deck and bracelet set that encourages users to practice self-care habits in various aspects of life. Unoya is split into 5 different categories: physical, intellectual, social, emotional, and spiritual. Each card has a detailed prompt for the user to complete, which focuses on practicing intentional self-care in each dimension of wellness. For example, Rhea, who only cared for herself physically, could pull an emotional card that may encourage her to cook a meal with a loved one. This will allow her to build her emotional state as she strengthens relationships with others and learns to cope effectively with life. Unoya also includes a bracelet that acts as a physical reminder of the importance of self-care and living well-balanced lifestyles. As a way to ensure inclusivity, we offer our bracelet in 5 different sizes.
Our target audience is, but not limited to, high school and college students aged 15 to 24 who find it difficult to effectively take care of themselves in all dimensions of wellness. This comes to around 193,000 people in the Houston area alone, creating a market potential of $2.9 million. Unoya was created for students, by students, and as students. We're directly impacted by this problem, which makes us best equipped in helping create a solution. And with an 86% increase in students wanting to live well-balanced lifestyles, as found through our survey, Unoya is the best way to achieve this mission.
As of 2022, the self-care industry is right above $135 billion and is expected to have a compound annual growth rate of 5% in the next 2 years. With this, we anticipate a continuous demand for our product.
So you may be wondering, what makes us so different from the numerous self-care products on the market? Self-care journals and anxiety-relieving cards, such as Papier and Headrush, similarly aim to promote wellness. But why choose us? We found that other companies tend to lack a deep dive into more than one aspect of wellness and lack a physical component. Furthermore, a major point for us was to make sure that everyone can conveniently implement self-care into their everyday lives at an affordable price of only $15. As opposed to the average price of $22. With our card deck also being smaller than the average size, it makes it easy to keep around in your workplace. But these are not the only aspects that make our product unique.
Unoya is based on the SAM HSA's 8 Dimensions of Wellness, a research initiative with the vision to promote full and satisfying lives, which is the 5 most applicable dimensions to people aged 15 through 24 and created prompts based on these categories. A study conducted by the organization split participants into 2 groups: a control group and an experimental group that received resources to improve wellness. The experimental group showed significant improvements in health outcomes and overall well-being as compared to the control group. Through our research, we are positive Unoya has the proper techniques to create a lasting change in your routine. Now, we are going to explore the manufacturing, marketing, and financials of our company.
For the past few months, my team and I have been diligently working to design every aspect of Unoya, from the prompts to the colorways to the icons. Unoya is completely student-created. We held research meetings to understand the SMHSA's dimensions of wellness, and used this research to accumulate prompts that we thought would be most effective for a target audience. Regarding our colorway, we chose blues and purples, as it signifies calmness. Additionally, every icon on Unoya was designed by our COO. After completing the design process, we then found a reputable manufacturer to bring our cards to life. As far as our Relax bracelet, we handmade each one, making them completely unique. This allows our customers to choose which one they feel best fits their personality. After receiving our card decks and producing our bracelets, we performed quality checks to guarantee top customer satisfaction.
So Evo has been promoting the significance of well-balanced lifestyles through active social media marketing on platforms such as TikTok and Instagram, resulting in over 30,000 views on our TikTok videos and substantial user engagement. Additionally, we have hosted events such as Falling for Self-Care and the 12 Days of Evomiss on our Instagram, which encourages our followers to implement self-care into their everyday lives by providing them with specific self-care prompts to complete. Customers can also make purchases on our website, theevoteam.square.site, as well as learn more about our company goals for this year. Since the launch of our product, we have been in contact with therapists and doctors' offices in hopes of reaching more students. We have been selling at farmers markets every week to increase sales and expand our customer base. To market globally, we have recorded an episode with a Real Conversation Pod, a mental health awareness podcast on Spotify, hosted by students at our school as a way to spread our mission of practicing self-care.
To kickstart the funding of Unoya, we had 125 students invest in our company, generating a total of $1,875. Additionally, we received an investment of $625 from participating in the Global TiE Apathon and A&M Innovations Challenge. Therefore, our company was able to total about $2,500 in seed money. We invested about $1,500, 53% into our student design t-shirts, and 47% into the manufacturing of our product. Each year, we have a company tradition of allowing students to design a shirt, which we sell to expand our profits. Unoya breaks down to a cost of $8.85, allowing us to profit $6.15. With their launch 2 months ago, we have been able to profit $4,300 and have even exceeded our break-even point.
Unoya's impact is to ultimately encourage everyone to live well-balanced lifestyles through self-care. To further aid individuals in their self-care journey, we have included a resource card with additional education opportunities from other organizations in the market. We will also be donating 10% of our profits to the Whole School Mindfulness, a nonprofit on a parallel mission of implementing mindfulness into individuals' everyday routines. We know that our contribution would undoubtedly heighten our impact throughout our community.
With the later stage funding earned, we plan to allocate our funds into 4 different areas. One of our
You are pretty much on your time, so make it quick.
Okay, we're just about to finish. Is to get our name out and spread our mission. So we plan to host 5 events that highlight each category from our card deck and provide the community with wellness resources. Second, we want to expand our product. From high demand after the launch of our product, we saw that many audiences were interested in repurchasing. So we plan to create expansion packs that would still utilize our current 5 categories, but with different set of prompts for different audiences. Additionally, to grow our reputation and assist in sales, we want to form larger partnerships with local businesses and get a premium website subscription. Join us in taking a step towards a pure and well-balanced mind. It's not just an evolution, it's an evolution.
Wonderful. Thank you, guys. That was a great presentation. I would open it up for the judges now.
Hey, so I will go first with my question, but before I do, I wanted to, well, thank you all. An excellent presentation. I really liked how you kind of combined together, switching from one to the other, clearly very well rehearsed. So that's fantastic. Just a quick question. You're all high school students?
Yes, we're all sophomores in high school.
You're all sophomores in high school. Okay, excellent. So, well, a few questions. Number one, how does this scale?
Okay, so honestly, right now we're on a more local scale, seeing as we've been selling at farmers markets and formed partnerships with more local businesses. However, with the funds allocated, we really want to turn this into more of a larger platform by creating expansion packs. And additionally, we have been trying to do more global marketing through active social media marketing, as we have said, and we've reached, if I remember correctly, around 28,000 different users through our social media platforms. So because we have a website, we think that this can expand all throughout the US and then hopefully maybe later even globally. And then additionally, we've also formed partnerships with places such as we're in the process of forming a partnership with Code Ninjas, if you know what that is, and different farmers markets, therapist offices, and organizations. And through those, we really want to make this on a more national and global scale.
Awesome. Let's say one of you had 3 tests tomorrow. No, well, not tomorrow, obviously, but the next day. And you're not prepared for all of those. You just had a tennis match and you're home. It's already 8:30 p.m. How does your product help you in that situation to keep a balanced life?
Okay, yeah. So I think that all of us, everyone on my team as students, can attest to the fact that high school and just other like college and other places like that can be really stressful and time consuming. And because of that, we don't take the time that we need to take care of ourselves. But Unoya is made specifically to create fast and effective solutions to these kind of things. So a lot of our tasks can be really quick, completed in 10 to 15 minutes that can really help you de-stress and look on it with a more positive mindset afterwards. So for example, one of our cards could just be something very simple, like create a list of, let's say, your goals for this week, something like that. And that won't take too long, you know, or create a to-do list. We have a lot of different tasks and opportunities, and the ones that I just mentioned are like shorter, as I said. So if you do the ones that are 10 to 15 minutes long, you can make time for them. And then through that, you would just like help you balance your self-care if you do this every single day.
Thank you.
I have one question. What was your financial investment ask?
Okay, so our ask is, I think, just 50,000 as the competition had said, but and I said how we plan to allocate these funds, the majority into expansion packs.
Thank you.
All right, that is great, guys. So if we have, do we have Satish? Are you still there? Looks like not Satish. That is fine. So let's, judges, if you don't mind just going ahead with your feedback, you would go ahead and do that. In the meantime, I think I still don't see the team 3, right? So team 4, you're up. Please go ahead and at least have that prep ready while the judges would finalize their survey scores.
One last thing for team 2. I just want to make a comment. I want to pile on with Karthik. Well done on the presentation.
Thank you.
Herschel, you could step in on behalf of your judge.
Yes, I'm going to do
you are
that.
there. Okay, just choose that judge's name so there's that same consistency.
Yep.
Also, you're right. You do have one less team member, and they've emailed they're not able to join, so continue without them. Yeah.
Yep, so we'll do that. We'll go ahead with team 4. And so team 4, just feel free to share while the judges would go ahead and finalize the feedback.
Just to double check, who's from team 5 in the audience here?
I think that might be me. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's
Yeah, you are, Brandon. So you might want to change the name. I actually texted you, chatted you on one-on-one, right? Just change your name as SA_5 instead of 1. You're actually showing as 1, right?
Okay, thank you.
Can I share my screen?
Nishita, wait for the judges to finish the scoring, and if you have just like a placeholder that you want to share, you can. But don't put on a slide that steals your thunder from your pitch. Let's wait for a scoring break here. Okay, thanks, Brendan, for renaming. I think we're good in the order. Herschel, I'll monitor the judges for you, okay? So you could focus on judging. Okay. All right. I confirm that all 3 judges have submitted. You're free to continue, Nishita.
Okay.
So Nishita, if you could just pull your screen on, and I would start the timer when you're ready to share the screen so that you
Sure.
have 10 minutes.
Hey, Arshil,
Yeah.
I am going to join on my phone, so you might see me momentarily leave, but I'll come back, okay?
No worries. So do you want me to just, so if you don't mind, just do that right now, Karthik, right before Nishita starts so that you don't miss the
All right,
presentation.
hang on.
And in the meantime, Nishita, just feel free to share the screen so that we're ready.
Okay.
Okay, have I? I'm the only participant. Breakout rooms. Austin track, join. Yep.
It's asking me to leave the breakout room and get back. So can I do that? To share my screen?
Yeah, go ahead and do that, Nishita. Go ahead and give the permission and come back.
Sure.
Quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, Karthik, we see you on your phone. You can kill your other one anytime.
Perfect. So while we are waiting, if anybody has any skills, right, we can present that. I'm just kidding.
I can juggle. I'm watching the Houston track on the other side, and they're still finishing up Team 2's Q&A. So
Okay.
we're doing good on
So
time.
we are pretty much on time. Yeah, I mean, we have one less
you're
team now, right?
Slightly
So
leading with the next presentation ready to go. So you're good. I have no eyes on Dallas at this point, but
nobody does.
I'm sure they're doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the room they're in did not work out the way they thought it would.
That's all right. That's all right. There's
okay.
always that thing, right? I mean, so
okay, yeah.
As long as we are all as part of the same team, now looks like that's taking time for Nishita.
I see her. Let me see if she's back in the main.
So
this is a good opportunity. If anyone else is using a Mac and you have not you have not given Zoom permission, do that. You don't have to restart your computer. You just have to restart your Zoom session. Even though it says, by the way, Nishita is back.
Yes.
Sorry for that.
If you want to start sharing your screen, Nishita, you can. Excellent. Okay.
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 So, hi everyone.
Go ahead, Nishita.
Our company's name is Studink, and it's synonymous for Tinder for productivity. So, there are a lot of social networking sites to make friends, to date.
Nishita, please turn on your camera as you're going. I'm so sorry. We don't
No
see.
problem. Sure. Can you see me now? Yeah. Okay. So there are various networking sites for various goals that people have. And Studink is basically focused on networking for productivity, but it's completely student focused and not professional focused like LinkedIn is. So what are the problems that made us get through Studink? What was the basis or the foundation for Studink to be formed? So let's think of these scenarios that there's a girl, Alice, who wants to write a research paper but doesn't have anyone in her friend circle or her friend's friend circle who are equally interested and motivated to write a research paper in the same field as her. And scenario 2, there's someone called Ajay, and he loves cycling, but he doesn't have anyone to go cycling with, but he would like to find a buddy to go for cycling. And scenario 3, where Amanda has a virtual friend with whom she wants to design a project, but it's really hard for her to design virtually or collaborate virtually because she has to use multiple applications to collaborate and work on the project. And since it's a virtual friend who shares the same goals, they can all really meet in person, and that's not a viable thing to do. So what are the solutions that we've come up with for these problems? And another mention is I myself have been through those situations when I wanted to write an AI research paper, but I couldn't find anyone in my friend circle or anyone that they knew who are equally interested to write a paper in the same field. So that was the beginning of this idea. And so the solutions that we came up with were first one for networking. So unlike LinkedIn, where you have attributes already decided by the website, we give the user the ability to choose their attributes. So let's say in LinkedIn, you can just use name or the designation or the company name to search for people. But in our app, you can decide the tags. So each profile has multiple tags associated with it. Let's say I have painting and AI and coding and all of that, such tags associated with my profile. So when someone is searching for a person interested in AI and research, if they search for AI and research, my profile will be listed out for them. And you can also add filters based on location or if you're open to anyone around the world and so on. So the second solution is for collaboration. We will have a place where students can collaborate with each other virtually, especially during the COVID time, since work from home and online classes have become a norm. They can code, design, document, and plan virtually. For example, in CodePen and Canva, you can design in real time. So if I am designing something, someone can contribute to it at the same time, and they can also see the changes that I am making in real time. So it gives the same feel that you're sitting next to each other and creating a presentation. But all of this is virtual. And the third solution would be to, when you have such productivity stuff available in the profile, the remote hiring becomes really easy because the hiring managers can really see what work you have done. You can display your work in your profile, and it'll be easier for them to validate your work. So the solution 3 would be remote hiring, where they can also, code in real time, and the remote hirers can like actually see if they're doing it properly or no. And the fourth solution, when we have such a huge student community and we want only a student community, we do not want some fake profiles to be created. And then, so for that, what we did was we can validate the mail IDs. So pretty sure that every student has a .edu email ID. So using that would be the only way to create the profile. And hence you can keep away the fake profiles and stuff. Our competition, the closest competition is bluelearn.in, which has 150,000 plus active student users within 2 years. And they've also got a 140K funding during May. But they're just doing one part of what we intend to do, that is just connecting people with similar interests. And their approach was to create groups, for example, entrepreneurship group. And all the people interested in entrepreneurship would get into that group and then speak with each other and find people who are equally interested. But our approach is a little different. We associate tags with each profile, and then you can search based on our tags. So it has a more dynamic approach compared to theirs. Plus, we're much more than just connecting students. We're also about collaboration. We're also about remote hiring. And our target market is students around the world with internet access and who are socially active. So 97% of the teens who have internet access are active on some or the other kind of social media. And fun fact, Facebook started off as a social network to connect students across universities to discuss about courses. And later they expanded into this huge social network for everyone. So among 614 million plus students, our target would be 595 million plus students who are active social media users. And the revenue sources would, these are just three main revenue sources, but there'll be much more. So the first one would definitely be advertisements, because it's a huge student community. So any business or any venture that is student associated would love to associate with us. And the next one would be student to student mentor programs. So let's say there's a student who is really good at a particular skill. They can take master classes for other students, and we can take a commission out of that because we are providing the platform for them to connect with a huge student base. And the third one would be remote hiring and commission on hiring. So let's say in developing countries, there are a lot of skilled students, but they cannot really come to a developed country and work there. So we will clear that kind of gap that's already in the market. So let's say a company is hiring a talent for $80 per hour. We can take it, we can give them the same kind of talent for a lesser price. And then in developing countries such as India, the base pay is literally $2, which is super low. And even if you give them like $20 per hour, that's like 10 times more than what they are actually earning now in the present scenario. So that's about it. And since we're in the ideation phase right now, we would be using the amount, if we win, for the prototype creation. That's about it. Any questions?
Thanks, Nishita. So we'll open it up for questions.
Sure.
So Nishita, this is Karthik here. One question: how do you guarantee that if somebody gets hired, let's say using your platform, or if you connect a mentor to a student, how do you guarantee that you get paid?
Okay, because they hire through us. So let's say a student wants to conduct a master class. So they will give us the so-and-so information onto what time they want to create it, etc. And then we create the platform for them. We create the base for them to create to conduct the master class. So every time a master class is conducted on our platform, we have the thing set up or recorded. So before conducting it, they'll have to pay us a part of how much they are charging per masterclass. So that's how it'll work. And even for the hiring, let's say we found them an actual talent that fit into their company, and only when it's approved or they are ready to take the person in, that's when we'll talk about the commission and all of that.
This is Will. I have a question on the revenue model.
Okay.
So as an advertiser or a sponsor of your site, going to want to know how you acquire and then keep users, and the model kicks users out after 4 years, right? So the standard models of lifetime value that you see associated with SaaS won't apply. So what do you intend to do to show how you will maintain a base?
Okay. So the thing is, there's no such platform as Student already. So this is the first one of its kind, because there are networking platforms, but nothing that connect you based on similar interests, plus also have the collaboration stuff in the website. So that would be our unique selling point. And because of that, the students, at least the students that I have spoken to, which are around 50 plus, every one of them have had this issue at some or the other point where they did not find someone with the similar interest when they really were searching for one. So the student base keeps on increasing every year as we're focusing on education for everyone and everything. So the number of students keep increasing every year, and for sure the student base will keep on increasing, and they would want to connect and collaborate around the world, not just in their cultural backgrounds, but like with everyone around the world. So this opens up a new opportunity for students and the advertisers alike, because they get to see various students from around the world in a same platform instead of, connecting with different countries and focusing on different student groups.
So Nishita, this is Harshal. What is your background
My background?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a master's student at UTD, and I'm pursuing computer science.
Computer science, right? So my question is, do you have a timeline of how quickly you can create something like this?
The prototype, yes, can be done in 3 months max.
Okay. And when did you kickstart this overall idea or thought process of creating this as a business plan?
So the complete idea was formed in, I would say, Jan.
Okay. So my question to you is, what took you right from Jan to now, right, in terms of being able to start creating a product? Or again, I mean, might be, do you have a prototype today, right? And if no, right, why?
So we don't have a prototype yet, because to create a prototype, it costs a lot of money, because we're literally creating an entire app. That too, since we have the collaboration stuff in the app, like real-time collaboration and all, we need to use APIs, and that'll be really difficult to code. And hence we need actual developers who are like really experienced, and that needs funds. So we have people who are ready to fund us after the prototype is created. But for the prototype to be created, we haven't found uh, people who are ready to fund it yet, which is why I'm in this competition.
Perfect. Very good. All right, and so the people who are ready to fund you if after the thing is done, right? What is it that they see as a value, right? In terms of doing this?
Okay, the value that they see is the collaboration part. All the three main targets that we have. One is connecting based on similar interests. There's no networking site which connects you based on similar interests and gives the user the power to select the tags on which they search on. So that's the first part. And the second part is real-time collaboration, not just on one particular thing, but on anything that you want to do. Like you might want to make presentations, you might want to code, you might want to document, you might want to plan. We have it all. So you don't really need to meet a person for anything. No reason at all. It's all online. So that's the second part. And the third part that they really were pulled towards was the remote hiring for everyone. Because I don't know if you've heard of Turing. I would like to put this forward. But Turing is a remote hiring platform for remote developers only. And they were listed on Forbes, and that's the only thing they do, just remote hiring for developers. And yeah, they were listed on Forbes because it was such a big hit. But us as student, we also focus on designers or business interns and anyone, not just developers. We're inclusive of everyone.
Perfect. Thank you, Nishita. I think this was very helpful, right? I'll have the judges some few minutes to be able to finalize their feedback, and then we would move on to the next one.
Sure. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Nishita.
Thank you.
So judges, you have your minutes for getting the feedback in, and
I have submitted.
Yep. Will I confirm your scores have come in? Thank you.
Thank you.
We're just waiting on one more judge. Just to make sure.
Add one more judge because you moved to the phone might take a little more time. That's what I'm imagining. Because yes,
It just came in, so you're free to go to
I saw
team
that.
5.
All right, Brandon, you're up next. If you just don't mind sharing your screen, starting the presentation, and your 10 minutes would start now. The floor is yours.
All right, can you guys see the slide and my like presenter notes?
Yes.
Awesome, wonderful. Welcome everybody. I'm really excited to talk to y'all.
We see your presenter notes.
You see my presenter notes.
Looks like it.
Swap
Yeah,
display.
so you might want to go full screen
about-
instead of, yeah.
How about now?
There you go.
Cool, great. I actually don't even use the notes, I just have them. Anyway, I'm Brandon Milady, the team lead for TheraSafe, and this is my talented team of engineers. And together, we're really prioritizing safe and efficient theranostic treatment. We have a background, all of us are biomedical engineers by trade. Myself and my colleague Aaron Woods are both PhD candidates in biomedical engineering. And I encourage you to scan this QR code or visit our website at therasafe.com, where you can learn a little bit more about us, and you can see our device in augmented reality and in 3 dimensions. To give you an idea of what the problem we're trying to tackle is, theranostics are really this emerging cancer therapy, and you can think of them as magic bullets for the targeted ablation of cancerous tissue. So really you're taking this molecular targeting agent that can specifically bind to any sort of cancer tissue and attaching a radio label to it, which will allow this thing to home in on where the cancer is and sort of blow it up with that radiation. And this is really a super sophisticated technology. I mean, we're really honing in on only attacking the cancer cells and killing the cancer cells specifically. However, the technology used to actually administer this theranostic agent is really crude and leaves a lot to be desired. So we have this really incredible technology, this molecular targeting system, juxtaposed with really, really crude workstations used to actually administer the technology. So one of these workstations is depicted here on the right. So we actually went into a local theranostic clinic, of which there's not a lot because it's still sort of an emerging technology. But this is what they do. They actually MacGyver together their own workstations and sort of just put together what they have in the hospital. And there's no status quo. This differs from hospital to hospital and clinic to clinic. And there's a lot of potential risks here. I mean, the entire time this protocol is running, the technician, the radiologist, is being exposed to radiation throughout the protocol as they have to constantly monitor the progression of the dose delivery. So they're constantly checking every 5 minutes to see how the dose delivery is going. And this is making them incur a substantial amount of radiation the entire time. And then there's also a huge potential for spills or any sort of accident to occur. Maybe the syringe needle pops out and now we're getting radiation all over the room. And these aren't like other radio tracers. I'm not sure how familiar the crowd is with overall radiation and nuclear safety. But typically, if you go to get a PET scan or a SPECT scan, these radio tracers are on the order of half-lives with hours. So they'll decay and they'll be no big deal after a few hours. But these guys, these theranostic agents that are emerging, they have half-lives of weeks to months. And so they're actually a much more challenging thing for clinics to actually get running in their hospitals and their clinics, because if they spill one of these, their clinic can shut down for a month. And so though the technology is really exquisite and really promising in terms of treating people's cancer, it also presents these challenges that are preventing clinics from actually adopting them, because again, there's no status quo, no like status quo operating procedure for these clinics to actually get their protocols off the ground. And there's really no workstation for them to safely deliver this product to people. And so all these clinics that are doing it, they're kind of doing so at great risk to all their technologists, and they are limited in terms of how much they can actually do the treatment. So each technologist can only get a certain amount of radiation a week or a month, just set by OSHA standards. And so they're actually limited in terms of how many times they can do this protocol because of this. To give you an idea for the market opportunity here, Lutathera is just one theranostic agent right now. And this one specifically targets neuroendocrine tumors. So that's like one of the only ones out right now, and it'll go only to neuroendocrine tumors. And across the 249 treatment centers in the United States that are currently doing theranostic treatments, it rakes in about $1 billion a year. And all the technologists we've talked to have talked about how they want to scale up, and they want to scale up about tenfold to about $10 billion a year. And this is just, again, for one theranostic agent that specifically targets neuroendocrine tumors, but novel targeting agents like FAPI are going through clinical trials right now, stage 3, and these confer specificity for a myriad of different cancers. So we're very quickly going to go from a state where we can only treat neuroendocrine tumors to a state where we can treat a myriad of different cancers with these theranostic technologies. And to give you to remind you, the global radiological oncology market is $10 billion as of 2023. So our solution is really just to develop this comprehensive and robust theranostic workstation so that we can provide a status quo workstation for hospitals and small clinics alike moving forward as this technology, this theranostic technology, gets more widespread adoption. And so our technology will really feature just a plug and play system. So the technologist will put their radio tracer, the theranostic agent, into our dilution chamber, and then the program and the dilution chamber will sort of make the dose for the patient and then deliver it to the patient through IV inlets into the patient. So we also have enhanced radiation protection. So all this is lead acrylic shielding. And so the entire time that the protocol is going, both the technologist and the patient will be protected from the undiluted dosage, and the whole thing will be automated. So the technician won't have to be constantly, every 5 minutes checking the dose delivery. They'll be able to have this all automated on their system, and this will increase the throughput of this treatment and also increase the overall safety for the treatment. And the safety thing is obviously good. We want the clinics to be able to do the treatment and be able to adopt the treatment, but the throughput thing is where we're really getting the value from. So, I mean, these treatments each cost about $50,000, and that's like profit for the hospital. They make about $40,000 in profit for the hospital. So hospitals and clinics want to do this. However, it's just so dangerous right now and so risky that it's sort of preventing them from doing so. But if we can increase the throughput with this automated system, then we can rake in a lot of money for these hospitals and increase the safety for the technicians and patients alike. And so my team is really just comprised of engineers. So you might think, how are we going to get this product commercialized? But we're really lucky to have support from various sectors supplied to us through our winning of other entrepreneurship competitions, namely the Texas Health Catalyst and the Marvin and Ellie Selig Entrepreneurship Award. So we have industrial support from professionals who have become CEOs and have consulting companies and expertise in IP protection. We have academic support from advisors at the University of Texas. Or the University of Austin at Texas. And then we also have, most importantly, support from doctors and people with expertise in cancer therapy and from clinics. So local clinics, ARA Diagnostic Imaging is one such clinic that has a theranostics program, and they have worked with us every step of the way as we've designed this product and we've identified their pain points and what doesn't work for them and how we can make the best product for them and engineer the best workstation for them. Just to give you an idea of our iterative design process moving forward, right now we're working on the minimum viable prototype, which is this thing you see on the left, this automated dose dilution and delivery to the patient with enhanced shielding and a whole fully automated or a full comprehensive and robust workstation. But as we move on and move forward, we'd like to get to a point where this fully commercialized package with Bluetooth connectivity for remote viewing of the dose progression, so that perhaps maybe radiologists can actually do multiple dosages at once, assuming they have multiple of our stations, and they can sort of monitor the progression of these deliveries all from their smartphone. And they don't need to just be in the room taking radiation the entire time, because it is dangerous for them. In terms of competition, this is probably the best thing about our idea right now, or about our prototype right now, is there's really not a lot of competition. I showed you the status quo previously, right? Which is, again, MacGyver together workstations that hospitals and clinics are literally throwing together themselves. And it differs from clinic to clinic and hospital to hospital. And the resources available to a small clinic are vastly different than, the resources for a large hospital. And so there's very different protocols for using this, but this is one of the best setups that we saw, and this is just super crude, and there's often spillages that occur with this setup and just various hazards that come in the way, and it's clunky and cumbersome and makes the whole thing take a long time, about an hour per treatment, whereas we could really get it done in about 20 minutes with our product and the automation. There's also syringe shields and lead pots, which can be added with the status quo to sort of enhance the shielding, but these are really clunky and cumbersome and actually get in the way a lot of the time. And so technologists don't use them just because they're not practical. And so our product represents the first comprehensive and robust theranostic workstation, which features automated dose dilution and delivery to the patient, increased usability, and much increased radiation protection. So our development plan over the next year, we have our provisional patent. And so with that, we're going to go into clinics again. We have the friends at ARA Diagnostic Imaging who've agreed to actually provide us with theranostic agents that they're not using. So stuff that maybe if a patient cancels, they have this theranostic agent that's going unused, and they need to let it decay to background. But they agreed, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So they've agreed to allow us to use those spent theranostic agents to test our device for the decrease in radiation or the increase in radiation protection, as well as the increase in delivery throughput. And so we will be testing our device over the course of the next year, and also sort of getting the manufacturing down and making the product more robust. And we'll also be applying to more funding competitions, just like this competition. We're going to continue to seek funding. But right now, the thing we're mainly seeking to fund is the manufacturing of the prototype and then the testing. So some challenges we anticipate moving forward are both regulatory and
Brandon, you're up to time. Just make it quick and finish the presentation.
Okay, yeah. So we anticipate regulatory and manufacturing challenges moving forward, but we are confident we can tackle these with the expertise provided to us from the Texas Health Catalyst. And then also just one last note, these technicians go to work every day curing people's cancer. And so it's really important we give them the tools to do the job that they need, the tools they need to do their job safely and efficiently, because right now they don't have that and they're exposing themselves to radiation every day. And this is preventing this life-saving technology from getting off the ground and potentially generating a lot of revenue for hospitals. And yeah, thanks so much.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Brandon. This was actually awesome. I would go ahead and open those for our judges to have questions for you.
So, hey, Karthik here. A quick question. You didn't cover your revenue model, so maybe you want to shed some light on that.
Yeah, so the revenue model, we're still in a stage where we're developing the device and then testing it. But in terms of what the revenue model would be, we would be selling the device to hospitals and clinics for about $50,000. And hospitals and clinics would buy multiple of these. Presumably, one workstation likely wouldn't be enough. If they wanted to like scale, like they want to do multiple treatments a week, they would likely need more of our product. And then we would also sort of help them with the maintenance of the device. Like any sort of precision medical device is going to need maintenance yearly. And so we'll provide maintenance contracts to them and then also just sell the device commercially to hospitals and local clinics. So that's how we make the money.
Okay. And I presume this would require FDA approval and you'd have to go through that process.
Yeah, so the process is difficult. Like there's FDA approval that would be required for just the overall radiation shielding, which is easy. We could do that. That's FDA 1. But for the actual like dose dilution and prep and delivery to the patient, that automated system, that's FDA 3. But again, like I said, we're really confident that we can tackle these because we have expertise in this FDA regulation in our corner supplied to us through the Texas Health Catalyst, which we just won. So we have support from experts that can help us navigate this realm.
Thank you.
Thanks.
My questions fell right along the same line. And I'll just add a comment. It'll be similar to what I put in the feedback. I love the product, right? I love your enthusiasm. I love the geekiness of it. But at the end of the day, you're pitching to get an investment, and adding a little bit more depth to the financials would make me as an investor, if I'm gonna write the check, I'm gonna want to see, I want to get my money back at the end of the day. So, but very good presentation. Thank you there. You might crisp it up a little bit across the time, but good stuff.
Cool, thanks.
And so Brandon, the team at ERA, is it using this thing anything, or are they assisting you in this process right now, or they're using the prototype as well today?
So we're taking our winnings from the Texas Health Catalyst to build the prototype right now, and then we're going into ARA in the next month or so to actually test the product and acquire more data on the usability, radiation reduction, and how they like the product. So we're moving to testing once we actually manufacture the product with the winnings from the Texas Health Catalyst.
Okay. And pretty much the entire team that you have today are students or student-led, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, myself and Aaron Woods are both PhD students at the University of Texas at Austin, and then the other two just graduated and are just working professionally as clinical engineers.
Okay. And so let's assume that you get the initial stages. What is your plan of action after you get out, right, of the PhD program, right? Is any one of you thinking of doing this full time?
Yeah, I mean, depending on how it goes, and certainly if a lot of revenue is coming our way, then absolutely we would seek to do it full time. Both myself and Aaron Woods are really interested in that. Madison and Harsh are both interested. But I guess we're just sort of playing it by ear and seeing how it goes. But certainly if it's going forward, then I would be happy to be a CEO of the company. Yeah.
Okay, and then typical timelines, right? So you said you require FDA 1, FDA 3 approvals. What is your thought process with a typical timeline for some of these things to be getting for go-to-market?
Yeah, I mean, right now we need to acquire a lot of data. And I think over the course of the next year, we'll have a satisfactory amount of data to then take to the FDA boards and actually try to get those clearances. But right now over the next year, we're just in the data acquisition phase to prove that our product is safer and provides enhanced radiation protection and increased usability. So I think over the next year, we'll acquire all this data and then approach the FDA approval part.
But are you aware of the typical timelines that FDA would take in terms of giving you the approval?
Not really. I have to email my correspondent with this and ask about that. That's a really good point. And I will reach out to them after this and figure that out.
Oh, that sounds good. All right. So I think if anybody has any more questions, we can take it. Otherwise, so we'll move on to the judges scoring.
You still need 2 more judges to score. You have 1 score that came in.
Correct.
Okay, sorry. Your judges are good. They have two judges have scored, 1 judge left.
All right. So you might have the 3rd judge as well in, Ravi.
I do. You have the inside know-how.
I know, right?
Good to go. So your
All
last team is, I think it's Nubuk.
Yep. Zoe and Mohammed, you are up. If you would not mind just sharing your screen, I can start the timer. And yes, we can see the screen. Go ahead, floor is yours.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We are NUBAC. We are looking to mitigate and prevent chronic back pain experienced by dental workers across America. We begin with the story of Dr. Thomas Harrison. He graduates from dental school in 1979, and for the next 10 years, he operates on patients for about 6 hours a day until he begins to have severe neck and back pain due to bone spurs in his spine. Since the bone spur surgery was too costly, he's forced to manage the worsening pain with physical therapy and exercise for the next 3 decades. Fast forward to 2019. At this point, he cannot pick up anything with his left arm. Because of this, he's forced to undergo invasive surgery to grind down the painful bone spurs in his neck. He unfortunately has to miss out on activities that he loves, such as dentistry, swimming, and spending time with his family. What started off as slight back pain nearly turned into the end of his career. In order to prevent more stories like Dr. Thomas Harrison, we're asking for $90,000 to develop a product that mitigates and prevents severe chronic back pain. In 2022, there were nearly 700,000 dental workers that operate on patients in the US, and 30% of them will have to retire early due to back pain. Unfortunately, this early retirement is not spent on doing what they love, and it's spent in chronic pain and physical rehab. Dentists usually retire at the age between 31 and 62, and they have the average retirement age of 52 years old. That's 10 years earlier than the national average. And for dentists that retire 10 years earlier than expected, they potentially lose at least $300,000 in their retirement wealth value.
So how can we solve severe back pain and early retirement for the 690,000 dental workers? Presenting the NUBAC exoskeletal back brace, a brace designed with dentists for dentists. After going through a feedback loop with more than a dozen different dental workers, we were able to design a product that's slimmer, sleeker, yet still supportive. It can be worn underneath clothes and takes less than 30 seconds to put on. It only requires 3 simple steps. First, place it on like a vest and zip it to close. Second, secure the lumbar support belt. And finally, secure the posture correcting straps. These straps, along with the muscle-like material of the vest, secures our signature exospine close to the back. The entire system works together to mimic natural musculoskeletal support of the spine and back muscles.
We wanted to help our dental workers, so we set out to learn more. In 4 months, we visited 7 dental offices to learn about their routines and the pains that trouble them. We conducted an online survey and interviewed multiple dentists in person, gathering more than 200 data points. From those responses, we learned that dentists are already spending $300 monthly for temporary solutions, such as physical therapy, massages, or seeing the chiropractor. There was one response that told us they had to get epidural injections because the pain in their back was so intense. More than that, 69% of the dental workers that we talked to confirmed that they would buy a back brace from the price range of $150 to $250.
So let me ask you a question. Why are dental workers not wearing back braces today? Well, one reason is that dentists are very concerned with how their patients perceive them. They worry that wearing a bulky back brace will make them appear disabled. Second, dentists worry about back braces being restrictive because they need full range of motion to properly perform their tasks. And lastly, they prefer to be comfortable not wearing a non-breathable back brace so they can perform those intricate procedures throughout the entire day. Our exoskeletal back brace helps dental workers to live a higher quality of life by mitigating and preventing chronic back pain, unlike the bulky, unsupported back braces currently on the market. So why Nuback? Truth is, there are hundreds of braces out there. However, Nuback is the only one that checks every box. It provides lower and upper back support, it's sleek, and has a flexible exospine for full back support. Best of all, it is the only undergarment exoskeletal back brace out there. Unlike other braces, Nuback offers less restrictiveness, full back support. It is slimmer, sleeker, and again, it is the only exoskeletal back brace in the market designed to be worn under clothing. For only $150, we help dentists have their backs and their careers. So what have we done and where are we going? In the past several months, we have conducted consumer research through surveys and personal interviews with dental professionals. After improving our design, we have filed for a provisional patent for our brace. We have secured 3 letters of intent from practice owners to purchase our product to outfit their practices once it hits the market. After we get seed funding, we will start our low-scale production.
In year 1, we will plan on selling directly to Houston offices to outfit their dental workers. We will offer workers a 30-day trial before purchasing our product so they can test it before they buy it. We will be sending our product to dental influencers to help us establish our brand, and we will be exhibiting our product at dental conferences such as the ADA SmileCon. And by the end of year 1, we will plan to capture 10% of the Houston market, selling around 1,200 back braces with a revenue of about $180,000. In year 2, we plan to bring our brand national as we partner with chain dental offices such as GMS Dental or Mint Dentistry. We will also be working on partnerships with dental distributors such as Henry Schein, whom we already have an introduction to. And by the end of year 2, we will have 1% of the national US dental worker market, selling nearly 7,000 back braces with around $1 million in revenue. And in year 3, we will continue to expand our brand through digital marketing and direct sales. And by the end of year 3, we will have captured 2.5% of the national US dental worker market, selling over 17,000 back braces with around $2.6 million in revenue. But dentists are just the beginning for Nuback. We are looking to break into other markets since back pain plagues 65 million Americans today. The first market outside of dentists we will target is operating room doctors and nurses because they'll suffer the most back pain in healthcare industry, second to dentists, and our product is designed to be worn sleek under scrubs. Other specific markets we're looking to break into include the beauty industry as well as the office worker industry. And here's the team. I'm Zoe Barker, the CEO.
I'm Mehdi, the CTO and the technology inventor.
And here are some of Nuback's key partners, starting out with Dr. Mark Benden, who is the director of ergonomics at Texas A&M and specializes in dental ergonomics. He has previous experience in commercializing ergonomic technology and has 19 patents of his own. We are also working with Grant Sadler, who is the owner of GMS Dental that has 138 locations across the US. And lastly, we're working with Dr. Thomas Harrison, the Texas Dentist of the Year for 2022, whose story you got to hear at the beginning.
Again, we're asking for only $90,000 to bring New back to life. Here's how we'll be spending that money. We will use some of our funding for prototype development to distribute to dental offices. Next, we will need an injection mold to start the low-scale manufacturing of our product. And lastly, most of the funding raised will go towards marketing and sales for our website and advertising Newback. Our brace will cost our customers $150 at a gross margin of 81%. We will be able to make $122 of profit per brace prior to fixed costs.
Now let's take a look at a bigger picture. This is our revenue projection for the first 3 years. We plan to only focus on the Houston market for the first year with about $185,000 in revenue. And in the second and third year, we'll expand our focus to the national market, projecting $1 million in revenue the second year and $2.6 million in revenue at the end of the third year. We are looking to successfully exit the company by year 5 by being acquired by a big medical device company. Players in this space include Johnson & Johnson or Medtronic, and they've historically completed many successful acquisitions with multiples as high as 20 times revenue. And here's some pictures from our journey. We are Newback, support that you can feel but can't see. Thank you so much, and we'll be taking questions now.
Perfect. Thank you, Zoe and Mohammadi. I think overall, an excellent presentation. Thank you for that. Let me start first, actually, right? So if you would not mind just going back to your presentation and go on the ask slide, right, where you're asking for 90,000 and the distribution of that ask. Yeah, yep, that's right there. Okay. So, so you said you are on the prototype stage and you're going to actually build prototype after you get the 90,000 funding, correct?
Yes.
You're on mute, Zoe.
We actually...
We have several prototypes that we've made, but for the prototype production for the 5K, we're hoping to build a bunch and then test them out and distribute them to local dental offices to be able to sell our first products and enter the market.
Okay, so the idea is you're going to actually use that to enter the market. Okay, that makes sense. And the prototype that, so you've already built some prototypes, and do you have any initial feedback on those prototypes?
Yes, so we actually made about 5 to 6 prototypes in all different shirt sizes, and we put them into dental offices for 2 weeks to test them out. And doctors used them when they were performing surgeries and when they had longer patients in the chair. And we got a lot of good feedback, and we're working on the next prototype right now.
Wonderful.
As a matter of fact, I am actually wearing one of them under my jacket. This is the
I
new...
love that.
Well, we haven't tried this prototype with dentists, but this is based on their current feedback that we received.
No, I love that. So that's awesome, Mohammadi. So one thing that I want to actually so I had a friend, she is a dental surgeon, and this is a problem, right? She's actually facing this problem right now, right? So this is a real problem, and the kind of market research that you've done is amazing, right? So thank you for that. Zoe or Mohammadi, if you would not mind just sharing your background as to why you came up with this idea or what is your background, that would be also very good.
Of course.
Let me start, Zoe.
Okay.
So I'm an industrial design recent graduate. I graduated from University of Houston last year. And my senior thesis was to choose whatever product I want to design a product for the problem. And so my dad is a dentist, and I've seen him deal with back pain, shoulder pain, and neck pain, you know, my entire life, basically. So I was like, hey, here's my inspiration. I love designing a wearable product, so why not design something for him? And that was how I started working on the project. And if you want to continue, Zoe.
So currently, I'm a student at the Wolf Center for Entrepreneurship at the University of Houston, and Medi has actually had a lot of involvement with our startup labs there. But part of my capstone project for my senior year was to pick a technology from the industrial design thesis pool, and that's how Medi and I got into contact. We actually worked together for the intellectual property competition at the Wolf Center, and we won first place. So we are hoping to take this product to market and get it out there, saving those dentists as soon as possible.
Thank you, guys. Will Karthik to have more questions?
Yeah. Hey, this is Karthik here. So is this a flexible material? So it has to flex as the body moves, right? I mean, as the dentist is bent down,
Right.
I guess it has to, because I saw it was full body almost, I mean, full torso.
That is correct. It is a flexible product, and the main part of the product is this flexible exospine that we mentioned, and it's completely flexible. It's made out of biodegradable polycarbonate, so it's also environmentally friendly.
Can this also, I guess, why only a back brace? Why not a knee brace?
Well, dentists suffer the most from shoulder pain, back pain, and then neck pain. Knee pain is also common amongst them, but the most relevant pain among dentists is
No. I'm thinking maybe beyond 3 years from now, that there's a lot of sports injuries. The knees are one of the ones where there's just a whole lot of rehab and injury and all that. So
I could definitely speak to that. I just tore my ACL and had to be in a knee brace for a really long time.
So I guess I'm trying to understand if the technology can be adapted to some, well, let's say knee brace, yeah.
The technology as of right now, I'm not sure. I need to obviously develop it further, but I have worked on a knee brace product, which we are hoping, if everything goes right, we are hoping that would be our next product into the market.
Okay, thank you.
Will?
I don't have any to add. Partial jumped up there and stole all my good questions. So I won't barrage you with any more. I will just add some comments right quick. First, well done. I love the presentation. The fact that you're wearing one of them, I put this in the comments as well. You mentioned that during the presentation, right? Bring it right out in the front. It felt incidental. It's very cool. I mean, eating your own dog food, as it were, right, is a very, very powerful thing. So I would suggest that if you have any way to put that in the presentation, you should. Beyond that, well done. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. So I think this is awesome. So what we will now do is we have some more time before. So I think we were very prudent on our time, which is a good thing. So we have time left, right? So what we should do is let's go ahead, right, and take a break while the judges are actually finalizing their scores. There'll be some deliberation period for the judges, right? So after, because now we have all the 6 teams covered, right? The judges would actually have some time for having their own deliberation as part of it. Let me just quickly check the time schedule, right, to see when you would want to be back. So you can actually use that time as your lunch break and be here by 1. Actually, so yeah, you have a good amount of time, right? So if you'd not mind, right, getting out, re-logging into it at just 12:55, right? And then what we can do is we would kickstart with a keynote, a special speaker from Dallas who would come in, right, and give his keynote at 1, post which we would share all the good news.
Thank you.
But this was awesome. I mean, what I'll do is if any of the participants, right, if you want to just quickly share any of your thought processes on other teams or the overall process as well, right? Let's open that floor, right, and hear any thoughts that you would have, right, for your fellow entrepreneurs or the process in general.
Does that include critiques and feedback?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, more than happy to.
Well, Jose Maria, I actually want to share something with you. I think you need to work on the visuals of your presentation a little bit more to make it more cohesive.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no, I think it's all good, right? Because at the end of it, right, everybody is helping each other, right? So yeah, I mean, anything which is good, bad, and ugly, guys, please feel free to share. I think it's a good idea to share that, right, and make the entire community, right, better for all we know, right? So. And as I say, I mean, anything that you have, right, for the TiE ecosystem as well, right, any feedback, any good or bad things about it, right, feel free to share that as well, right? It's always a good thing, right, to start learning, and the learning thing, right, should never stop, right? That's the whole mantra. Anything else, guys? All right, looks like everybody is hungry. So we will leave it up to that. Ravi, I see you back. I am actually asking the teams to come back at 12:55 for our kickstart on the keynote and the final results. And then the judges will stay back, right? And we'll do the deliberation session.
Thank you.
Thank you,
All right.
guys.
Thank you, guys.
More to say. You said everything I wanted to. So, yeah, really. I think between you've given all the entrepreneurship, I would say pointers. It could be. Well, good afternoon. First of all, Ram, thank you for having me here. Always a delight. I see so many, friends I had not seen for a while, between Rohit and Rajiv Roy, Alex, and Raj, our great community leader, and Anna in this room, and that makes me little, nervous to talk about what I want to talk about. But anyway, so I like entrepreneurship. It just always reminds me of a story my grandmother used to tell me whenever I would complain, oh, something is not happening. So I'll start with that story. There was this one guy who always used to go to his place of worship and say, God, let me win a lottery ticket. And he would go again and again and again. One day, God got a little angry and said, I will make you win lottery ticket, but first, damn, buy the ticket. so all the contestants here, you already have bought your ticket. So maybe, I think you've taken your first step. Hey, I don't know if someone noticed or not. I took a picture while they were standing here. Look at how cool shoes they were wearing. All of them. Really amazing. I said, I need to get some of those to get up my fashion statement. So some great things about. Well, so, I came here as an immigrant, with really, I can say with a plan, but no plan, and have been able to create a business, which in this room, it's very low tech. It's the least technology business one can do. And one lesson I can say what I learned from my journey is, I think initially when I started my company, people had wisdom to give me, oh, this is how industry works, this is how things work. And I did not follow a rule book. And really, I think that might have been a little dangerous, but textiles is what I was into. And they would say, oh, there needs to be catalog, this. And I said, customer is my catalog. I'm not going to make a product and tell them buy from here. I'm going to ask them what you want, and accordingly I'll make. So not having a rule book kind of helped me tremendously to get where I am. Again, as you said, sir, it might seem easy, but yeah, there are paths, there are days you feel like quitting, But at the end of the day, it's very rewarding and very satisfying. I can say that every day. We all know entrepreneurship is about the risk, about being innovative, about adding value to people's lives. Whatever way you make a change by something you're trying to do. And while we hear about all Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, there are plenty of ideas and all which happens, which are lesser known strategies, but they still are very successful one. And that's where I'll try to touch, I think, two new kind of entrepreneurship model, which I think are being discussed these days. One is lean entrepreneurship. As you are taking steps for your next venture, the idea can be a grand, but start with a simplified version of your product, a product which you can test, you can quantify, which is a MVP, which I call a minimal viable product. And I think that quantification, that core values, core features, once you identify, I think that can be a minimal entrepreneurship. At that stage, I think you can go at the grand level rather than creating that huge plan, which kind of, and I'm going to contradict myself in a minute when I'm saying this itself. I think so. Start with that lean entrepreneurship. Now I'm going to contradict myself, and you might call it oxymoron. I think once that happens, I think then go to a 10x rule. I think your ambitions and goals should be 10 times you think you can achieve. Sometimes they say, oh, goals can't be set where you're supposed to fail. I kind of disagree. I think, make that entrepreneurship goal 10 times more than you can achieve. Push the boundaries, get to the level where I think it'll test you, it'll make you work hard, it'll try to achieve something which has not been achieved. But before that, it needs to start with the lean entrepreneurship, because if you get to this goal without that lean entrepreneurship, I don't think you can achieve that 10x goal at all. It might seem impossible, but it'll motivate you to, get up and work harder every day. And I always remember a quote which I heard in one of my presentations, that beat everyone's expectations except your own expectations. So your expectation should be so strong that you are not never beating them. And the one thing I think in last time also I talked about, how hustle is important in anything we do. When you're doing that 10x entrepreneurship, dream and dream big, otherwise don't dream at all. And then I think then comes the art of hustle, because after dream is free, but really you have to buy the hustle to make the dream come true. So hustle is whatever level we do it. Let the hustle be silent and let your success scream with that hustle, that what you create, rather than just making the noise and then everything else coming in your way because you're making some hollow noise about it. As I said, dreaming is very free, but if you don't get up and hustle, I don't think we are going to achieve that next steps. They always say, our culture teaches us to be patient and good things come to the people who are patient. But what I say is, yeah, good things come to the people who are patient, but they are leftovers of the people who hustle. So people who hustle, they get it first, and the leftover is for the people who are patient. And so yes, it's good to be, I think sometimes to be calm and, but take that first step to be. One thing which I'll say, which I think this room of all technology people, you might say, what is he talking is, one thing I did was, I think every time people ask me, what's your exit strategy? I said, if I had to exit, why would I start? So it's this exit strategy is a very important word in technology, but don't start with the exit strategy. I think let it build, let it shape of itself, because it might kind of corrupt your thoughts as you're growing the business. And again, I'm a very old-fashioned business. I'm in a business which is not technology, and I never believed. I always used to feel that why is the first thing you're talking to a new entrepreneur and you're asking them what's your exit strategy. So I feel, yeah, maybe in today's world that needs to be there, but don't start with an exit strategy. Let that be the path as you get to together. And again, I think as you're growing your businesses, very important, be part of the community you are on. We have examples of Raj and Anna. They started this Hunger Mitao and they're making a difference. I think, and it doesn't have to be big. Be part of your church, be part of TiE, be part of your neighborhood association. That's only where, as you know, we clearly say, this is not the hotel we are staying in. I think this is the community we live in. So be part of that in whatever little way. It doesn't have to be grand, and that will support your entrepreneurship effort, because that's the networking, that's the key. People will realize what you're doing. So not only that's great for the community and your involvement, but it's even good for your efforts you're taking in the entrepreneurship. Well, with that, I think I'll make a quote from Gita, which I really believe reflects what all we do in one of our scriptures. The things you are good at didn't happen overnight or by accident. They happened because of your effort to strive for excellence. You do not need to compete with anyone except yourself. And that truly reflects, I think, we feel we are competing with the world. If you bring your inner West, compete with yourself, I think success will follow you. Having said that, Ram, again, thank you for inviting me. This is a great group, and I really hope, one of the Jeff Bezos was standing here today. So, yeah. With that, if any questions, I'm welcome to take any questions if there are, please.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I'll go ahead and just take it then. So it was a very, very, very tight and heated discussion on 2 and 3. So let me just start there on the runner-up conversation. So it was between Building Quota and Opus was the 2-3 runner-up. We went back and forth, and we were getting summoned to come back in and carry on for an additional 5 minutes. So just to let everyone know, it was extremely close. Where we landed is our runner-up team on second place is Building Quota. And the Dallas winner is Betty Spoon. So congratulations.
Can I request the winners to come here so we'll take a picture? Come on in. Yeah, come on in.
And we're gonna turn up the volume for you guys. Why don't we go around? Go ahead and either Houston or Austin go next.
Yeah. So Austin, you can go next. I'll pull up the slides for you. Okay.
That'd be great, Ravi.
Yeah, and then before you do, let's remind everybody that they need to join the LinkedIn group for TiE University so that we could continue to follow the journey and continue to build the ecosystem. Here, let me get rid of some of the extra slides. But that's the link. You want to go to bit.ly/TiEU group, all lowercase, and that would get you to the LinkedIn group. So I'll give a second here to take a screenshot, but then I'll jump right into the award. So I'll just remind everybody what the awards are for Houston and Austin, just to make sure. The first place from our local round, we're covering up to $2,000 for the semifinals and finals for travel lodging for the TiECon participation to go to and represent our cities and our chapters at the global level, at the global semifinals and the global finals that's taking place in May. Teams, there is an option for you to be able to do this virtually. If you are not able to travel, at that point, we'll just allow you to cash out your prize winnings. So some of you did not know that, but now you do. So kudos for it's a good effort and good for you. So TiE Dallas has made their announcements. I'll just skip over their slide right there. Austin, sorry, go ahead. There's your
Perfect.
second.
So first of all, this is actually getting there, right? But I wanted to congratulate each and every one of you. I think overall, all the teams were amazing, right, with respect to what they have actually accomplished. So first of all, kudos to everybody, right? And I think we started off initially when Paul mentioned, right, that each one of you are winners, right? So please pat your backs, right? I think all of you have done an amazing job as part of the presentation. All four of us at the Austin group, Will, Karthik, Satish, and I had a blast in terms of being able to start learning, right, how good you were at where at the stage of life that you are, right? Believe me, I mean, we were not even close when we were at your age. So perfectly appreciate that, right? Think there were multiple areas, right? And we've actually discussed some of that, right? That we had multiple things that we had shared on the basis of which we've come to a conclusion as judges. So Will, Karthik, Satish, and I deliberated multiple things. We had some good back and forth conversations and came up with TerraSafe as the second place runner-ups, right? So kudos to TerraSafe for the runners-up at the TiE Austin event, and we would have our finalist for TiE Austin in Nakub. So the team Nakub, congratulations. You would represent TiE Austin at the global finals, and we would certainly circle back, right, and have conversations around how do we do that. But congratulations on winning the TiE Austin pitch competition for 2023.
Awesome, and I just
Thank you
pinned,
very much.
I just pinned both of the students there. Let's take a quick screenshot because someone's gonna say who won, and I'm gonna forget. So I need a picture.
Yeah, so let's have Brandon, Zoe, Mom,
Yep,
Mandy, all three of them, right? And then Will, if you want to just come along in that, right? We've lost Karthik.
Let me add all of you onto the floor. Is Karthik here? Let's make sure.
No, Karthik had to leave, but I think we have Will. So let's have Will, Brandon, Zoe, and Mandy on one screen.
Working on it. You have. So if you're in the speaker view, everybody should be on that. In fact, here I'll stop share so we could see all of y'all.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay, there we go. Congratulations, team. Hey, can I go ahead and say that I think this team is based in Houston? Awesome.
Yes.
Kudos. Austin did something awesome, which was it truly represented the capital. And it brought in 2 Houston teams, 2 Dallas teams, and 2 Austin teams in a very nice manner. So Austin, thank you for truly representing Texas.
No worries.
in your local round. Awesome. So let's take away the pins, and then now let me share the Houston winners. So give me a second, folks. Out of our Houston, we want to thank Chandu, Sunil, Vanita. All of them were so thrilled to have participated. None of them knew the team members and acted in a sort of an independent jury, and they deliberated right after using the tools provided to us that worked really well here. And we're really excited that it's engaged a lot of our charter members in Houston in this activity of volunteering and supporting college entrepreneurs, like the mission says. And all of our judges were really kind, and they gave feedback, and students received feedback from one another as well as audience feedbacks while those links were being shared. So again, thank you so much for one, behaving really well and being kind and not Zoom bombing us or anything, any of that stuff. So we thank you, thank everybody for just a well behaved crowd. So let me go ahead and jump right to the second runner up. This was very close. In fact, the judges made a decision that they wanted to swap the second and third place because they were so close, and they wanted to make, they felt that one team had a slighter edge, and that team is Team Penelope. Congratulations on winning second place, runner-up for the TiE University's local round in TiE Houston. So I don't know if is the team here from Penelope? I think they were team 3. Go ahead and share your cameras. Let me see if I can get them. I think Tejas, is that, are you there? Zia, Tejas, are you guys all on a break? All right, I see you're, there you are. Let me see if I could spotlight y'all for everybody. You guys are in a bus. I just love how, is it a bus or, that's cool. So congratulations. And now let's get to the first runner-up. And then this, not the first runner-up, the first place winner for TiE Houston's TiE University local final is Carbon Hunter. They scored really well, and all judges agreed that they will do tremendous justice to Houston for representing this project at TiE Global. So Carbon Hunter, congratulations. Who is that? Let's see. You're gonna that's why you're gonna represent Houston, and new Buck is going to represent Austin.
Oh, congratulations, you guys.
Congratulations. So we just wanted to make sure we get the group shot here.
Oh, thank you.
And I'll go ahead and let me just go ahead and remind all of you, if you have any concerns of anything, and Dr. Lopez's contact information, who did the keynote this morning, is on the slide. Reach out to him, let them know if you wanted to have any feedback or comments, or reach out to TiE University at TiE.org, which is the TiE Global, for any of the questions, or if you need any more feedback. We have all the scoring, we have all the feedback. We will be sending that out to you individually for you to review, for you to grow. And should you need the chapter champions like myself and Herschel and Roshan and Sundar in Dallas will certainly help you move your projects forward. So if you were the winning team, stand by. If you up with a big congratulations for pursuing entrepreneurship, and the true winner today is entrepreneurship. So all of you pursuing entrepreneurship, I appreciate y'all doing so. Congratulations, and we'll reach out to all the teams that won to represent us in Silicon Valley on May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. We'll wrap up